Sadly, you just missed Dead Weston talking about his first ex-wife. Awakening tonight is Barry of Clan Nagaraja, played by Noskavian. Please rouse check to awaken. Oh, you don't need to fucking rouse check because we're carrying right off wherever we are. So you don't need to listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm only the storyteller. Ebony of Clan Ventry, played by Softinomicon. Hatfield of Clan Brujar, played by Daybreakathon. Acheron of Clan Zamitzi, played by Larissa Rave. Slip of Clan Nosferatu, played by Slippery Nos, but to us he'll always be Vamp_Daddy. Ardala of Clan Banu Hakim, played by Finichi Stala.
You got this.
Got it. You're good.
He got it. He got it, guys.
You got it.
Mm-hmm. He's just excited I'm back. That's it.
Yes.
Exactly.
We're all excited.
Roland of Clan Ventry, played by Dead Weston.
What? Sorry, my cat ran back. And I was like, what do you want?
We're doing great. We're doing great so far.
It's a good start. It's a good start.
I don't know how any storyteller keeps a straight face when they're playing this fucking game. Or any CCRPG.
Most don't.
You're not sat there smiling and laughing. You're not playing with your friends. Right. The rain crashes down upon you all while you take shelter a short distance from Ray's occult shop. Oh yeah, fuck it. We should tell him, really, shouldn't we? We're gonna Ray's occult shop didn't
Wall
happen.
had a vision. The last 10 minutes of last week did not happen.
As you were falling into the lead pit and the Queen Alien was bursting out of your chest, turns out it was just a dream.
Gothic spirits in the chain.
So, yes, she decided not to be there like she said last week, and even after it's a whole thing. It's fine. Just go with it, all right? There's weirder shit has happened in this game universe from the official writing. The ashtray. Those of you in the know, you know. That's all I'll say is the ashtray.
We're doing great.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Bollocks. That's enough exposition. I'm not a skull cowboy. If you get that reference, you should be also offended by that trailer that came out recently.
Stop.
It's offensive. We stand with Brandon Lee in this house.
It's about them vampires.
The rain crashes down upon you all, while you take shelter a short distance from Ray's occult shop that is located in a very small, isolated area outside of the city centre, away from any passing traffic. It is one of the few shops that has its lights on and is open for business at this time of night. Though you sense no immediate danger, you wait in the shadows to get out of sight. The view afforded to you peers into a large front display window that is filled with assorted trinkets of brass, copper, wood, and fill the entire display, obscuring your view inside the establishment. When suddenly from the shadows behind you steps Ardala, who joins you. What would you like to do?
I think the moment that I see Ardala step out of the shadows, I immediately go to her. And there's a brief pause because I'm looking at her, trying to see if she's actually Ardala. I'm looking for those signs of like, is she wearing a meat suit? You know what I mean? Because I almost like can't believe that she's here.
We're not about to get Rami'd again.
Right. So I'm like, bitch, where's the seam? You know? But as soon as I essentially confirm it's her, I simply grab her and pull her into a hug.
Ardala usually is very put together. She usually has her hair tied back into like a knot. Her hair is down for the first time. You've never seen it down before. She is the clothes that she's wearing, she's been wearing them for a little bit. You can tell by like a little bit of dust. It's like she was put away in a dusty room and had been sitting there for a little bit. She is at the beginning very stiff when you hug her, which is very Ardala. So like just because of that, like you 1000% know that it's her.
Yeah.
But as soon as like the warmth of the gesture sinks in, she'll hug you back, almost aggressively.
Yeah.
And she'll whisper in your ear, I didn't want to leave you. I'm sorry.
I think Akron holds her tighter. Akron also looks different. Akron now looks like a woman. Has short blonde hair. The features themselves are daintier, but she holds tight, almost as if to serve as like grounding. Like, you're here, I'm real, this is real. I think there's a silent understanding of what it's like to be kept in a place against your will. And Akron says to her, you have nothing to apologize for. You're here now. I'm sorry for what happened to you.
They wanted me to be a coward like them. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it.
I know. You've not a cowardice bone in your body. We will get justice. I promise.
My sire is dead.
Did they tell you?
No.
In hearing the no, anyone who can see Acheron's face, there is rage there. But all she does is, after a moment, will lead Ardala to maybe like a chair or something that's in the room, sit her down and hold her hands. And after a good moment of allowing her to process it, she'll say, how did you find out?
I was looking for him. My thoughts in my blood. He's not there anymore. It's just empty. There's nothing left. Just an empty echo of a memory. And they didn't tell me.
She grabs onto Ardala and holds her tight, almost like she's trying to hold in all of Ardala, as if she's falling apart and is keeping the pieces together. And she holds her to her and sort of just rocks with her for a moment, allowing her to get it out, to get the grief out of her. And then she will tell her what happened. She will, keeping her voice sort of at a whisper, and say, he came to us when the SI came to the Haven, filled it with red mist and destroyed everything. But he was there a moment before. Bought us time. I'm so sorry. You deserved to know.
And they say that the Camarilla is so strong. And what do? They hide in the shadows when we most need it? When their children need them? I don't want to be like that.
You aren't. You've never been. That much is clear. You will make your sire proud by not being like them. Because when push came to shove, he was there. And not to protect his children. To protect us. It was more than any of them have done.
You're right. I will make you proud.
Acheron takes out a handkerchief from their bag and wipes Ardala's tears away and says, right, now there's work to be done. We have much to tell you. And from there, I will turn to look over my shoulder at the rest of the coterie that's in the room.
We've been having a time lately, let me tell you.
Yeah, I agree. These elders always running off and scurrying and hiding. I don't care what they do in the shadows. I'm only concerned with what we do.
So Hatfield gives finger guns at that statement. I don't recall if Ardala has the ability to see auras, but if that is something of which she's aware, there might... Hatfield's aura has never been clean, but it's darker now. Them black veins have been refreshed.
No, I only have Sense the Unseen and Premonition.
Mm.
I don't have the other one.
Doesn't Sense the Unseen allow it?
It does. Sense the
think it
Unseen
does.
will allow for you to see the auras of those around you, if that's what you're focusing on. So, since it's a passive thing,
I guess
you could probably see it.
could have it on just for,
Yeah.
I mean,
It
yeah,
is
It is a
you'd see
passive.
It's passive, yeah.
Yeah, it's passive, and my aura is
I don't
dark.
think Hatfield's going to try and hide their aura. That's not Hatfield.
No.
That's not Hatfield.
Ebony's is also dark and veiny.
Yeah, I think it's
Also,
fair to
Ebony
say.
looks different.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, like, when you look around, the coterie itself looks very different. Not just, like, aura-wise, but physically, a lot of people look different, so.
Oh, yeah, Slip's also got black veins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so everyone's looking like maybe they did the big bite.
But very
Yeah,
true.
But
very
mine
true.
was sanctioned.
Centauri also.
As the Banu Hakim, like, I am the last person to judge, man. I am the last person to fucking judge here. Hello.
Yeah,
Roland's out here like,
Yeah.
you're all doing diablerie?
Yeah. My
like,
aura
when
is,
did I
like,
get the
spick
memo?
and span right now, yeah.
I mean, my aura
Like, he'd
has
be
never
unaware
been...
of this entirely. He doesn't have Sense the Unseen, so he would be just standing there.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Right. Well, a lot has happened. Not just the SI. Actually, let's start with where have you been? You said they kept you.
They kept me in our haven. They knew that. They knew that they were sending. I know it. Knew that they were sending my sire to die. In a way or another. And I was to be the next to be kept safe for after.
You were meant to replace the scourge. Right? So you don't know at all what's been going on. They've given you nothing.
They know me enough to know that, like, any information would have made me break the chains that they held me with way sooner than now. I believe that the sheer force of my will brought me here. After I found out that my sire was gone.
All right. Okay. Well, bullet points. Cult of Mithras has a new leader. And I gesture to Hatfield.
I feel just sort of blank face, just like.
Congratulations.
Book club got weird.
I'm
Um,
not going to be in a basement anymore. Ever again.
Mother Superior was disposed of, as was the Dampier she kept hidden in her basement.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, desperate times. We've been taking some desperate measures.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is necessary.
Yeah.
I believe that now everything is necessary.
Nod.
The virus that, the plague that has been around. The kind, they intend to roll it out masked as a vaccine. Yes, the
A
intention.
vaccine distributed through Kai?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes. They basically figured out a way to vaccinate themselves against us.
Kill us off at the same time.
At that point,
Oh, go ahead.
just cracking through your skulls.
Woe to you, O earth and sea, for the devil sends the beast with wrath, because he knows the time is short. Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is a human number. Its number is 616.
The fuck?
Also, there's a moment when his voice is coming through. Hatfield makes a face and does a little hand gesture as though the hand is speaking those words. Very, respectful like.
Oh yeah.
Acheron obviously takes in the words and it's just like, fuck, like it's bad. It's real bad. And then we'll say we attempted to take some measures against it before the SI attacked us. We spoke to the Anarchs, the intention of them starting riots in the street. And then with the Hakata, that when the bodies eventually stopped dropping, they confirmed that they dropped because of the vaccine. They're in preventing other kind from taking the vaccine due to pure fear that they'll be next.
I want to double check. You did say you were in a room, right?
You said we're in a room.
Don't panic. Don't. You're in a room. Thank God for that. Great.
Yeah, you said
Because the
we're in a room.
TV
Uh-huh.
then flashes itself on to the news. And it's just a regular old news report, and then it comes about the vaccine. Everything seems to be, what you'd expect, usual propaganda, people going up there, they want to be prevented and kept safe. But what really catches your attention is the fact that they call this trial program number 616.
Damn. That just
Wonderful.
okay. This is
okay.
And the TV will just switch itself off. We're not wasting electricity in this house.
Right.
I think.
what a saintly action.
I think the TV is possessed, or the dude downstairs is trying to send us some signals.
Very we're possessed at this point.
Right.
Well, you know what?
There it is.
You know what they say? There ain't no rest for the wicked.
Wait, so
Nodding.
is the SI working with
Yes.
the people downstairs?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, there's a lot of factors all coming in at once, but they're not working together. They're just
No, I thought that
Were they working together? I don't know. I was in a basement.
Why is this vaccine called 616?
I'm not even really that sure.
We didn't have that information previously. That's just been dropped on us.
I mean, I'm
We just
pretty
knew-
sure we did establish that there were folks downstairs doing stuff up here, and that's part of what's going.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true, yes.
Oh.
Seventh Heaven was that group that is I guess in charge of the creation of the vaccine/plague. So it all pretty much lines up with something rather biblical happening. And that's just been our confirmation.
I've read that book so many fucking times. No one really understands it.
Well, it's full of contradictions, so that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I'll be honest. Someone gave me a copy when I was a kid, and I read up until the point where there weren't dinosaurs in the story of creation, and I was like, what's going on with this?
So what? You read like a page in?
Yeah, and I was like, hang on, what's going on with this? I've seen them bones.
I mean, in technicality, it doesn't actually state anything. It just says all animals as they are. Nothing says that they can't have died off since then. People just, I don't know what to take
We're
things
getting
literally.
off topic.
We are getting off topic. I'm sorry.
You're
Plus,
fine.
Bible studies later.
The best books are cookbooks.
I don't disagree. We had a plan to essentially corrupt the first batch, ensure that people will die from it. Then, the Hakata will do their thing and it'll help. Of course, the SI has attacked us, so things are a little... not impossible to get done, but just, a little more difficult. We've also recently discovered at the Kink Club, there's a warehouse full of Wights. I've seen them. We've seen them.
Yeah,
Thousands of Wights.
Yeah, and every
That
single
was a
one of
nightmare.
them, they've got a label on them, ready to mail.
There's a list of the Primogen, the Prince, a few other locations. Slip can confirm better, but meant to be drop-off points to send these Wights. Owned by, or rather, I guess put together by someone named Jezebel. A similar symbol to that of the circulatory system, which is off-putting, but the Tremere Primogen wasn't on that list of locations. Mayhaps they did know something was going to happen, because the Banu Hakim Primogen is also on that list. Every
There's also barely
Primogen.
a clan right now.
That's true. It was recently updated, though. As I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, you lot, but believe our haven was also on that list. So, regardless, you know, whites, thousands of whites, they somehow managed to collect and create. They weren't wearing clothes of varying ages. It all seemed as though...
they seemed recent.
Yes, recently made whites, which is a feat in and of itself.
Are the whites all in the same place?
Far as we know. We saw them.
We found a bunch of them, but who knows if that's all of them. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be shocked if the entire world was riddled with secret white bunkers. That's been
Possibly.
time.
Guess they just...
Do you remember? Do you remember that time where you sent a little present that exploded through the oubliette?
Oh.
Perhaps you could send a little present to
Well,
the
we have
Wight?
we have enough explosives to level half the city as it stands.
That is true.
If
Sure.
So...
We could start with that.
Sure,
If
hand it
Done it
over.
already, and that would prevent 1,000 or a good amount of whites from like doing, some damage.
a thought. Partially because the
Like, they
demon
definitely will not like fire or
That's
being
true.
exploded.
That's
I mean,
true.
nobody likes being exploded.
It's not a fun experience.
Correct, but like if you explode, whites,
Mhm.
considering that we really don't like fire.
There is
Probably.
also perhaps a timing thing that we should take into account. Listen, I'm not a fan of the kind by any means. They are food, but that warehouse is directly beneath and connected to a club, a kind visited club. So we blow it up, we're blowing up all of them. If there's anyone in there when we do it. So, just a thought.
There's almost certainly a time in which it's actually closed.
That might be the best time to send a little present to the club itself.
We could send a little present after closing. I believe that clubs can't stay open after a certain time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yes,
matter how
but-
late.
I mean, that's
True,
that's,
but
you know,
they're
that's,
probably going to be close enough to dawn. It'd be a little difficult to just wait after closing.
I will say, that's why I'm in the habit of pulling the fire alarm before burning the building down. Gives everybody a chance to clear out.
True, but actually, hold on. That's not a bad idea, because if we have to oubliette, we pull the fire alarm, we can just get the fuck out after that.
Problem
Use
is,
the oubliette,
if
get
we're
out.
gonna level half the city, that's a bit much for one fire alarm.
I don't think we have to level half the city, just
Yeah,
about.
we don't need to. Just that specific location where these whites are.
Limit
Yeah.
the firepower, essentially. to a
With the
smaller amount.
stuff we got, Slip, how easy would it be to measure the destruction?
I mean, if we do this, it's mass murder. Like,
Yeah.
Tens and thousands of people are going to
Yeah.
die, without question.
Yeah, I think it's a bit
Many
much.
many innocent people. Even
What
if
we've got is
I
a
go
bit
in,
much.
even if I go in, even if I do it under the club, it's not going to be great. Thousands of dead.
So there's
I
no way
mean-
we can just set it on fire.
I mean,
if we want to burn Oxford and turn everything to ash.
I mean, I can go
It's in the
either way.
name of the critical.
Um,
Hold on, I have. Okay, this is a very stupid idea, and I have no idea how we would ever do this. In fact, you might as well just ignore me at this point.
All right.
Imagine if we
But
could
that
get a
one.
hold of some of the red gas and pump it into the building.
Yeah, I mean, I had that thought. Trick is
Yes.
getting a hold of it.
I know that's the problem.
Is there a way that we've gotten these, and she'll show this amulet that she's wearing. We've gotten these amulets from a Tremere. That's another thing we'll have to discuss, but from a Tremere that allows us to walk through the red mist. Perhaps if we have a proper container, contain some of the red mist that way that is at the haven currently.
Doesn't it? Oh well, actually, I don't know. Does it ever leave? Dissipate?
I imagine, but I'm not sure exactly how it works. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
it's more
thought it'd been,
viscous than that.
settled and it just residue. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
If the SI are still there, I imagine it's probably carried in a truck. Like the gas trucks.
Oh yeah, they was pumping it in.
We could try to figure out how to steal a truck.
It's an option.
I mean,
It's look. Either way, it's not great. How we have to handle this is not great, and given the sort of biblical theming that's happening as of late, there are chapters in Revelation that speak of monsters rising from the earth and destroying the land. It seems a bit on the nose, doesn't it? But it is. We either way, right? If we leave it alone, many will die. If we handle it, many will likely die. It's not great. We've already agreed to corrupt a batch of these vaccines that will kill Kine.
That's fair.
So it's all bad all around. There's really, there's really no way of going about this where it's the least amount of destruction. At this point, we are in the end game, and mass destruction is going to occur.
and there's still lesser evils.
Which plan is the least likely to ruin the most meat, or the least meat? Which one's going to taint the livestock the least?
Well,
the vaccines are going to taint a lot. They'll also be dead.
Well, that's good, because then you don't have to worry about tainted livestock spreading it to the rest of the livestock. We go with that option.
right.
I mean, that's also an option, but that doesn't help with the whites.
Now, when it comes to the whites, the red mist is probably the least destructive, and we've got the upper hand with these amulets.
Yeah, I'm gonna say flat out, we're not exploding the entire city.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's not exactly great.
There's a lot of issues with that.
Allegedly have the advantage with these amulets.
Right, which is
We've not
why
actually tested them.
Which is why I say that if we are going red mist, we wait for our Tremere to return to us. Because she did promise to walk into the red mist first. As a test.
I think I have an idea for
Could
how to deal with these
I look
whites.
at these amulets?
Oh, of course. And I will present my amulet to Ardala. What were you saying, Barry?
I would like to look at it with my occult, stuff, knowledge.
I don't think you need to roll. To be honest with you, this will be quite obvious to you as a practitioner that this is.
And also with my
legit.
sensing and seeing stuff as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Fury blood magic.
Yeah, I don't see the point of making you roll, because if what are the dramatic consequences really going to be in a room if you failed to roll? Why would you go into beast mode out of that? I don't see that as beneficial. So absolutely success, and it's legit. It is on the level. It's for a Tremere craftsmanship. Obviously, it's no match for Banu Hakim. It's fairly elegant. It'll do what it says. You can't gauge the strength of this or anything like this because it's the red mist. This is something completely new. You don't know if it's going to work, but in theory, it should. It seems
Mhm.
legit. It's
That-
not going to kill them. There's nothing that seems harmful about it. It does seem like a genuine protective ward, but one that you haven't personally seen.
Mhm. But it has the indications of being what it
Absolutely on
is,
the level.
what it says.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah. This is absolutely the weird thing about this. That Tremere was honest.
Yeah, I'll say that. I'm like, the only thing that is strange is that Tremere actually told the truth about these.
Well,
Now, I have never seen this type of ward, but it does seem like it is something that it would be what it said it is. It's supposed to be. So.
I've got a idea of how to deal with our Wight problem. That last time Slip was doing some computer stuff, made the Inquisition pretty angry, and they came and red misted our haven and all that stuff. Why doesn't Slip purposely do some computer stuff with like a computer or a cell phone or something, and then we just slide that in that room with them, and then get out of there?
That's a fair point. Tip off the SI that, there's a warehouse full of dangerous vampires ready to ravage Oxford.
that's a thought. I mean,
What if the SI put them there?
that's really the hang up, is we don't know. We've no idea. I mean, we just the thought of, if it's the SI, it makes sense, right? Use us against us as a way to
Right.
eradicate, right?
There's no
Like,
way they could
if
figure out how to
they
do it,
have-
though.
I mean,
Well, regardless, right? Is they
do we
if it's
really want to
the-
find out? That's the thing.
right? It's if it is the SI, it could backfire quite terribly. If it's some sort of kill switch that was put in place by Kindred, my point is we can't leave it alone. Not really. It's a danger regardless. It's got to be dealt with somehow. So, how we choose to deal with it is just going to come down to a vote. If we go through tipping off the SI, they're already in the city. So it doesn't put us more at risk than we already are.
We do want to keep in mind that on that computer we did find the names and addresses of a whole bunch of people important to the cam, so
If we were going to tip them off, we'd have to wipe the computer.
Well, it could be a simultaneous thing. Is that possible, Slip?
We also, my head's a bit fuzzy between here and there. You know how it is with all the voices I got screaming. But we had more stuff we was going to investigate too, right? Like more facts we were hoping to find. Like, we're not
Yes.
working with all the
Like
info
what?
yet, so we don't
Yes.
have to make a decision yet.
What
There
are we
were-
looking at?
I don't know.
There
Headed
is.
to-
Oh, go ahead, Ebony. I'm sorry.
Oh, the other thing I can think, in the information we got, there was, in my opinion, a very important outlier. This fucking bookstore that we were
Yes.
headed to.
Yes, we were going to go to a bookstore. It's an occult shop. Ray's occult shop.
Oh yeah. We found the bit of the incense stick that was from the place at the thing
Yes.
where what's his face picked us up. That's it. Yeah, magic supply store for Tremere shenaniganery.
Yeah.
Right. So we were going to head there, see if we can find more information, and then based on that, make a move. So, the things we're discussing now, these are not things that we can do right this second because we need more information.
Right.
It is important to me to find out who owned the building, and I mean, we learned, I think, that there's sort of a shell company involved, but perhaps there's more information we can find at this bookshop that will...
You mean the club?
The
Where the
yes,
lights
the King
are?
Club. Yes. Simply because all the locations are connected to the Camarilla.
Mm.
All the addresses are for every Primogen except the Tremere Primogen. There's also the bit about Gemma Seek, if I remember correctly. Or is that...
Right.
Right.
Oh,
Did you
that's...
figure out who Gemma Seek is?
Sort of. It's all fucking, ostriches. But so Gemaseek was the child of a Malkavian before they were a Malkavian. And
that makes so
apparently-
much sense.
Right, and apparently could either be the cure of the plague or is the source of the plague.
One way or the other, they're the key. That's the phrase that kept getting repeated. They're
That's
key.
the starting point and possibly the ending.
Right.
I see.
It's why that one Malkavian was hiding with the Tremere. At first I thought it was simply because Malkavian they have access to a web, can see visions, but it has to do with Gemma. The Malkavian paired himself with the Tremere to hide Gemma. So
Wasn't-
she's
trying to remember. It was
possibly alive.
messy. Wasn't there twins? There was twins somewhere.
right, Romy was a twin. Romy also didn't know who she really was. The
Wait,
name Romy was given to her after. So,
are you
Fascinating.
saying Rami's Gemaseek?
she might be.
Is
She
that
might
the
be.
twin? I don't fucking know. This is
We don't know.
insanity.
We don't know. We've gotten these bits and pieces of.
I mean,
what
if they're
possibly
twins,
is.
they're definitely sharing a lot of that,
The same DNA.
heritage. Yeah.
Right.
DNA.
The only difference would be that Romy, as we knew her,
Rami
was
is a
kindred.
Hakata, and like
And her twin was
her
mortal.
twin was. Oh.
But which
Whoa.
Rami? Rami or the Rami who Rami'd us who wasn't named Rami?
No, the original Rami.
One, the original.
Okay.
Yes. So, to try to make this as clear as it can be,
Yeah,
Original-
clear as milk over here. That's what this whole mess is.
yes, the original Romy had a twin.
And this twin is Gemaseek, who's
Possibly.
possibly a Malkavian now.
We don't know. She was a child. So if she's still alive, which I'm assuming the way everybody's fucking looking for her, she's alive. And likely still mortal.
Also, again, I could be misremembering. Things get real fuzzy when
Yes.
things are real fuzzy. But I seem to remember that the folks downstairs, like, they're involved somehow. They gotta be involved. They're involved in everything at this point.
Right. Well, it's... Yes. That's the answer I can give, yes.
Maybe it's
So-
some sort of infernal plague started with someone's blood or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
There are a few things that can...
I don't understand why the Second Inquisition would use an infernal plague for their plans.
I mean, is it the Second
Unless they
Inquisition
didn't
using
know.
an Infernal Plague, or is it an Infernal Plague using the Second Inquisition?
That part. They may not know.
That is also very fair. But why would the neighbor downstairs then try somewhat to guess, like, probably do? Never mind. I
I mean, I
answered my own
assume that the
question.
folks downstairs have their politicking as well. Like,
It's just too many.
we're just pawns in somebody else's game.
At
I don't
this
mind
point,
being a
it's
pawn.
Two basement
at this point,
neighbors
it's-
bickering.
Yeah.
Right. It's at this point, it is a matter of us just simply trying to ensure our survival. So, with that being said, we have a way out once we finish our business. There is a way for us to get out. It's a little weird, to be honest with you, but what isn't these days?
Yeah, remember, you know the Froyo guy, right? Have you met the Froyo guy?
The shopkeeper.
Yeah, with the cursed sprinkles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he helped me. He helped me before.
He helped clean your taint.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Who said that?
He's essentially given us a way out.
I think that was the neighbor downstairs.
Probably. So yes, we've been given sort of a timeline in which we can jump away from this one should it become impossible to remain. Right, so as far as list of problems go, there is the Wights, there is the plague itself. And frankly, that's about it. That's about it. That's about as much as we can have on the plate, because two big chunks here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's, like, you want to start listing problems, we'll be here all year.
Yeah. Oh, there's also the problem of, well, I guess it's not a problem, but there is Mithras.
Oh yeah, there's that guy. There's the Tremere's popping out of the wall, stuck in a parallel dimension.
Oh, right.
Like, if we're listing things.
Right. So speaking of the Tremere, right, the reason why we have this Tremere that was honest with us, though rare that is, didn't do it for free, obviously. Did it so that we can take out the current Tremere Primogen. So long as we take them out, we get these fancy amulets and help in our endeavors from this particular Tremere. Sabine is their name. It's a lot, I know. But here we are. Slip, just because I need to confirm it. Would it be possible for you to erase the information on that computer in the King Club and send out a signal to maybe lure the SI to this particular warehouse?
I don't know. It's possible. I don't know how it'll go. I can try.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be easy.
Probably not. Yeah. As far as routes go, the easiest route is blow up half the fucking city and be done with it. Wash our hands of the whole thing and fuck off. But if we want to save kind lives, using the SI for the red mist is probably the best bet.
Yeah, I you know, believe it or not, I know this might come as a shock coming from me, but I don't actually want to level the city. I only burn down buildings as a last resort.
Right. I think it would not behoove the rest of you if we blow up half the city. I couldn't care either way, but there it is.
I'm not going to lie, this is a whole situation.
I'm here in a support capacity. Just let me know what you need me to do. I mean, here's the thing. If we draw the SI into the Wights, they're going to set them off.
Mm.
And then that's a bunch of people dead anyway.
I will say, this particular group of SI, they don't necessarily come in first. They, both the Haven and my garden, they sent the Red Mist in first.
Yeah.
You know, and then they came in boot stomping. But that's, you know, no guarantee it'll be the same way this time, but regardless, that's, you know, that's what we're looking at.
Whatever.
It's one of those things, right? It's like, pick your lesser evil.
Yeah, no, I just was like, if they were to open the door and unleash all the Wights, it'd have to be some real idiots. But then I had the thought of, no, some people are just real idiots. Whatever, I'm not gonna finish the sentence. People.
Right.
It would be good if the SI needed to expend many of their resources to tamp down that Wight problem.
Yeah, enemy of my enemy is my friend if you get them both fighting.
But definitely.
Whatever choice we make will also drive the Camarilla further into their little hidey holes.
At this point?
So.
At this point, let them hide.
I don't disagree.
If they're all gone, it'll make things easier for us later.
That much is true. Oh, that's right. There's a coup at hand as well, but we'll figure that bullshit out when we get there.
Don't worry about it.
Ah!
We're
Yeah,
not doing any of that until this plague issue's wrapped up. One thing at a time.
There are no embers in the sky, but the city's actually on fucking fire.
No, right, and no one's fucking aware of it. Truly, like the more the Camarilla hides and it, tightens up their circles, the less they know.
And
I mean,
that's why I'm running book club now.
So, our next move is to go to this bookshop, find out what we can. Depending on what we find, then we'll at least have a clearer view of what we need to do next. But, and I think you well enough, Ardala, to know that you are not one to run. So, this is a fight. We're just being smarter about it.
Is this going to be a book fight, a gun fight, or a knife fight?
The way things are going, Barry, all three. All of it. We're doing all of it.
Yeah.
Tooth and fang it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A fang and claw.
Even
fang
though I
and
do
claw.
prefer my blades. More than anything else.
Yes. We'll get a chance to dance, for sure. Yeah. Before we go, Hatfield, I do want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Give the others a chance to catch up with Ardala. And Acheron will stand up and sort of... I'm assuming we're in a building, right? That has like a little back area.
Yeah.
I'm essentially
I
looking
figured that
just
sort
for
of
a
thing,
place. Yeah, like a little
Yeah.
place that they do stock and stuff. And Acheron will gesture for Hatfield to follow them.
Yeah, there's the brief, glance around. Same energy when you're unexpectedly called to the principal's office. Wait a minute, huh? Am I in trouble?
Yeah.
And then Hatfield will stand and follow.
Yeah, give the others a chance to talk and whatever else. If they want.
It's funny. I was about to ask, maybe Roland and Slip are having a conversation, and Roland had real life calls, of course. Typically, didn't it? It's like, oh, well, there goes that idea. Shit.
Yeah. But if the rest of
Maybe
you can
Slip's talking to himself or something. I don't know. Slip and Barry. I don't know if there is.
You lot.
Take this opportunity while, if you wish, Acheron and Hatfield are having their own private conversation to have your own conversation, if you so wish, but you don't have to. I know Roland had something really important to say, but oh well.
Yeah, Adala, it's been crazy. Ain't that right, Slip? Yep, crazy.
Yeah. Banana sandwiches.
Yeah, we've been hunted by the SI. My grandma got killed by being punched through the chest by me. I mean, things happen.
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't hear that? Oh, yeah, okay. So...
No, I didn't know about your grandma.
Oh, yeah. So, Grandma needed to meet with me, and I guess some of the SI had gotten to her, and so she had me come over. I came over, and surprise, there were 2 SI agents, at my grandma's house. One was using Grandma as a human shield, and the other was threatening me or something. I don't remember exactly. All I know is I killed everyone. Yeah,
Rightfully so.
Yeah, the one SI agent thought that taking my grandmother hostage would prevent me from harming him, but he didn't know that I know that Grandma would have wanted me to kill him no matter what, and she wouldn't have wanted to have to stand in my way. So I just punched straight through her, and then, yeah, got his heart. One punch.
Got her heart as well. 2 in 1.
No, she's a little shorter than he was.
Oh.
It was more through, like, her upper chest. Probably clapped some lungs or something like that.
Her throat.
Maybe it was her heart. I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention. There was a lot of blood.
A lot of blood.
A lot of blood, yeah.
Well, Barry, I am sorry that your grandma ended up choosing the wrong side to be on.
Yep. It's okay. It's what she would have wanted.
But
To
at the
be-
same time, I feel like you give her, the right ending to her story,
Yeah, I'm just making sure that that she is remembered in a positive light. Didn't want her living one after making that mistake. This is what she would have
Yeah,
wanted.
maybe her dementia actually set in afterwards,
Yeah, I guess you can only go dementia-free for so many 100 years.
Exactly. At a certain point, it will creep in, maybe she had a spider lodged in her brain and it was doing something weird,
Maybe. Or maybe she ate...
Maybe one of the cockroaches in the kitchen, entered through her, ear and went up and started doing some weird stuff.
Well,
It's possible.
I did get the family cookbook, so it's not a
That's
total
great.
loss.
That's great. You can always continue the legacy yourself now. I think she would be proud of you.
She would
And
be
I do
proud.
believe that, whatever compelled her to choose the wrong road, it was just meant for you to, carry on.
Yeah,
Maybe it was enough for her,
Yeah, the important thing is that Grandma will live on through our family recipes. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
even make my own recipe, like Nana's Punch, and just like a drink recipe or something like that. And not everyone will know the double meaning, but I will.
Sure, only the close circle
Yeah.
people, yeah. I think it's a great idea. I think Grandma's Punch has a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like that very much. I think I mean, I could, look through some of my books and see if I could maybe perhaps enhance, the flavor or the experience with some blood sorcery or something like that. We can combine culinary and blood sorcery to a new level,
Yeah, that sounds...
elevate this kindred culinary experience, because I feel like there's not enough, I believe that a lot of, especially the newer kindred, really miss that aspect of mortal life. Eating.
Yeah, for
drinking.
sure. I'm sure we could come up with something
Yeah.
good. Something palatable for our ilk.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe when this is over and the tabula is rasa, like we say in Latin, the thing, the coast is clear, nothing is there anymore, we can build something better. Actually collaborate with each other instead of being in constant...
Yeah, and I have been talking to Akron some about making a farm to table restaurant. Maybe you can get in on that too.
What? A farm? Farm to
Yeah,
restaurant?
farm to table.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could just, grow our own stock in-house.
Exactly. Raise our own livestock.
Right.
Akron's really good at gardening. And, we can just bring everything in-house.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this turning into a vampire version of The Good Life?
We gotta have goals. We have to
Yeah.
have goals.
There has to be something,
Gorgeous.
to look
I'm
forward.
wondering if anyone but Pixie's going to get that one, but I'm not even sure Pixie's going to get that one because that's a fucking old TV show. Roland, by the way, I don't know if you heard us, but you are here. Akron and Hatfield have wandered off for their own private conversation, but you and the rest of the coterie are there. If there's anything you wish to talk about?
Not in particular, but I would have given Ardala a nod and like a welcome back kind of a glance. But he's just there ready. Everything's been really tense. He's kind of just poised to move, considering, there's a lot at stake right now. But I would say no. He would just kind of enjoy the idle chatter and just be ready.
In that case, Akron and Hatfield. What private conspiracy are the two of you hatching?
Not as conspiratorial as it may seem. But when Akron gets Hatfield into sort of the back room, we'll look at them and say, right, so...
What's up?
How are you? Things have changed rather rapidly.
What kind of question's that?
It's a question that demands an answer.
Look, to be honest, I don't know. It's, between one thing and another, it's been a while since I've had a moment of peace inside my own head.
Speaking of, Ebony has returned. How are you feeling about that?
Hatfield, just a moment of pause. Body language closes off a little bit, just arms crossed, as just a moment passes. Been a while since I've had a moment of peace inside my head. It's like I'm glad she's here. I'm glad she's safe. Happy to see her. The moment her face lit up when she came back and she saw me, like, almost felt I had a heartbeat again. But end of the day, that blood bond.
Is it there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Are you sure? Or is that just your true feelings for Ebony?
That's the question, ain't it? Would I feel like this if the magic were enforcing it? Would I resent it? If I wasn't like, how much of my emotions are mine and how much are just some trick of the blood? That's the question these days.
Well, Bruja are passionate creatures. Everything they do is passionate. You had an incredibly strong bond from the blood, obviously imposed on you by Mother Superior, but that's gone now.
I don't think it is. Not all the way.
Hatfield, you have ingested the blood of other kindred and have Mithras in you. far as bonds go, the limited magics that we have as vampires, it's gone. Whatever closeness you feel to Ebony, those are yours. Those are your emotions. The real question is, are kindred capable of feeling love? And is that a blessing or a curse for you?
You speak with such certainty, Acheron. But it's not gone yet. If it was gone, I'd be able to walk away.
Funny, that's how humans describe love. I think that it is easier to place the blame on something that you had no choice in than to admit you might have feelings, despite what other kindred may say. We are capable of feeling. Eventually, it does whittle away. But you're still brand new. A lot of what made you human is still there.
So what are you trying to say, huh? What's this about?
Same thing I said to you before. When you have to make a choice, will she be an influence on that choice? Not just when it comes to our plague situation and all this other nonsense. I have ghosts. Give me 2 seconds.
I'm sorry, just that fucking get the fuck out the fucking way. That instant. I love that motherly tush.
Like, it was a...
Better.
Right, not just with this plague situation and the SI nonsense and all of that. That's, those are choices I think you can make no matter what. But you plan on essentially taking on and or taking over the Camarilla.
When you put it like that, it sounds crazy.
Well, I'm not exactly sane. But
Hatfield did say that with a bit of a smirk. Like, I don't have a camera, but like...
Yeah. But like, Akron, they're on the same level at that. Yeah, so Akron says, yeah, look, I'm not exactly sane, but I am, in my own way, trying to help you. You can make it work. This is not an impossible thing, but if a sacrifice needs to be made, if a distance needs to be made, will you be able to do it? Bond or not?
I'll tell you this much, Acheron. The bond's still there. But I haven't fed since she's been back. I'm gonna make it work. Not... I'm gonna do what needs to be done.
Okay. In terms of your feeding, there are plenty you can feed from. But is it your preference to specifically feed from her?
Part of what a blood bond is,
You can re-establish the bond. It will be your choice this time.
No, that's what I'm saying. You think it's broke, you think it's easy as that, but no, it's been there too long, I can still feel it!
It's all right. It's all right. Bonds, I am not a fan of them, but
No.
they can be useful.
Yeah, I'll bet. It's real nice to snap your fingers and say Hatfield sit, and you know without a doubt it's gonna happen just 'cause.
Well, doesn't have to be that way this time. If you establish the bond, the power dynamic shifts, doesn't it?
I'm not interested in keeping slaves.
I didn't think you were. Hence, my asking if your feeding preferences are specific to her or just simply kindred. Because then you never have to feed from her again.
Our enemy's been keeping me fed and happy lately. I'm fine, Acheron.
You always say you're fine when you're not.
Okay, well, I'll put it like this. I'm as fine now as I've ever been, because I've never been okay.
Well, I cannot promise you that it will ever get better.
I'd call you a liar if you tried to.
You just simply learn not to care as much. The so affectionately put humanity that still lies within many kindred, especially young ones. There comes a point you have to work for it, to keep it. You can have your convictions, but eventually those shifts too.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. You exist in this world long enough and your fire goes out. You get slow, you get complacent, you get tired.
Hence why the Camarilla is the way they are.
Uh-huh.
What they did to Ardala, what they've done to countless other kindred. Some will say that that is in the nature of kindred, but I don't necessarily believe that. I think that is simply in the nature of those in power who don't want to give it away.
Survivor's bias.
Exactly. Naventru Primogen was a good example of that. He was presented with a problem, and rather than find a solution for it, he simply said, I will hide for however long it takes. And eventually the problem will die out on its own, which that's not realistic at all.
Just again, I don't have a camera, but in this moment it's very much hand on face. I still can't believe I ate the Primogen. Is oozing from every line of Hatfield's form.
Yeah. Yes, you did do that. That was you.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I did that.
I am curious. Was that old Mitty in your head getting you to do that, or was that you?
Point where you draw the line. It's me. You know, the two of us are a lot alike in a lot of ways, Acheron.
You and I?
Because he's a good fit.
Oh, yes, that much is clear. For Aventru, he held a lot of ideals that could easily be swapped out for Bruja. It's all very similar. The only difference is that Bruja are like dogs chasing tires. They don't really want to catch the tire. They just like the fight.
What's that supposed to mean, huh?
It's supposed to mean you will never stop fighting. You'll look for a reason to fight. Always.
It's because there's always a reason to fight. So
Well,
long as there are still people, there's still gonna be injustice in the world.
yes. I hope that come 50 years from now, you still feel that way. Because that is the true curse of kindred.
I know.
Time. We live long enough and we don't care about injustices.
Well,
Unless the injustice is done to us.
I'll tell you this much. Somehow, judging by how these, 30 years have gone, I don't think I'm gonna get that far. But I intend to make a heck of a splash while I'm here.
Yes. Do you have anything that you need to get out? That you cannot allow out in front of the others? Just you do it now. Karan just allows Hatfield to have a whole manic laugh. It's just like, yeah, yep, that sounds about right. You know?
You have a knack for asking questions, Acheron.
It's my favorite thing.
Yeah, I can tell.
I love asking questions. I do. You learn a lot.
Here's the
about
thing,
people.
right? Here's the thing. When you got a highly
Yes.
pressurized doohickey, right?
Sure.
And there's nowhere for any of it to go.
Mm-hmm.
When you poke that little tiny hole, you just get a lot of screaming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, that's why I suggested you do it now. Because what comes next, you will not be allowed. Even after the plague is resolved, even after all the nonsense is dealt with, you will not be allowed to show weakness. Because that is how they will view it.
Oh, I know. Trust me. I know. He never lets me forget.
Oh, speaking of, do you plan on keeping him in your head forever?
No.
Well, with our little out, if you don't get him out beforehand, he is coming with you.
Yeah, I'll tell you. It was obviously, desperate times, desperate measures. It had to be done. I'm not... Ghosts. Ghosts be ghosting.
I'm so sorry.
No, it happens. We're all haunted.
Yeah. Yeah, repeat what you just said. I'm so sorry.
Gonna say, desperate times, desperate measures. I'm not blaming anybody for it, but it definitely came as a blow when we had to trade away our fragment of, hey, yo, maybe we can find a way to get the big guy out of Hatfield's skull away.
We find the fragment. You can always take a peek. We can always take a peek at it before having to hand it off to anyone.
I mean, the whole thing, the whole scheme, it's busted now. It don't matter. We're past that point. If we live long enough for that to be a problem, we'll solve it when we get there.
Get out. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Me with the Mithras in my skull?
It's alright, we're all sat here going, those children are so fucking brave.
Bring a pen and paper, and you can make a copy of that piece of nod.
You mean the nod fragment we fabricated for a bargaining chip?
Hey, it's out there. We could find it. Look, at the end of the day, right, we are not completely at a loss, even if we don't get this fragment.
I mean, the fragment don't matter. It was only ever a chip to try to get us a chat with what's-his-face in the library.
That's true. But there are other bargaining chips, plus we have access to blood magics. I'm sure there's something that exists of splitting someone's soul in two. I mean, Mithras seemed to have figured it out. The man split himself amongst a bunch of people, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
So, the knowledge is out there. Simply a matter of getting it.
Wonder how many of them I'm gonna have to eat. You know, I've already lost count.
Yes. That's, one of the first things I think goes in this life. I
don't know. From what I hear, it's not terribly common for folks to go around eating each other left and right.
Oh, well, I mean, people cannot quantify what they don't know about. You're not the only blood leech in existence. Not the only kindred to decide they were going to eat a fellow.
Oh, no, that.
I've killed thousands. Manipulated the bodies of hundreds. You lose count. And you simply go, well, if I want to get a certain goal done or, whatever, you do it. Count doesn't matter anymore. So, if this parting of you with Mithras requires you to eat X amount of others who also have him inhabiting them, you just do it. Or you satisfy yourself with having a piece of Mithras in you and keep moving. Those are your options.
Mm-hmm. Always someone twisting a chain.
Well, I think we've left the others alone long enough. But, if there's anything you need, you can come to me.
When you guys get back in there, Ardala has her clipboard and is writing down some notes on possible recipes for Grandma's punch.
Amazing! Incredible.
And how to implement certain blood sorcery practices into the making of this concoction to enhance the experience of drinking Grandma's punch, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Acheron peeks over Ardela's shoulder and looks at it.
I don't know what Roland is doing, but Roland, you're there. You're you witnessed this conversation starting from Barry telling me about what happened with Grandma, and then us starting this collaboration on this drink.
Amazing. Incredible.
Sheer insanity. It's great.
Right. So first recipes for the new restaurant then.
Yeah.
We Adala and I are working.
I hate to interrupt this very important question about punch, but would anyone like to go in the bookshop?
Yes.
In a minute.
Hey,
let me rephrase it.
Let's go into the bookshop.
I'm going to say that you had the conversation about the punch and anything else, food or drink related.
I mean,
it's completely unrelated to absolutely anything.
I was gonna say that Hatfield coming back, not necessarily angry at anybody in particular, but the mood is very much I want to punch someone. So this conversation would not be allowed to go on for more than about 20 seconds before we're storming off and just opening the doors and going in that bookshelf. So don't you worry about a thing.
That's fair.
And that's the ingredient for Hatfield punch.
Yeah.
You see, if we could distill that attitude into the drink.
Let's
That's what I'm thinking.
let's ask the
You know what I mean?
shopkeeper about that.
Let's talk to the
frankly-
shopkeeper before Hatfield kills him.
We're ready to go to the bookstore, but I will say, you want to get a certain flavor in your punch. It's a matter of who you kill. Everyone has a resonance. And get
No,
someone
I
who has that.
understand that, but like I wanted to bring it to the next level. You know what I mean?
I see. Well,
You know we can
Things to
figure this
discuss.
out when the world ain't ending.
That's fair.
I said it before. You've got to have goals. Anyway,
All right, let's.
We
let's-
also gotta have
All right, gentle
race.
movement. All right, this. Listen, I'm actually a little bit scared. I think Hatfield might actually start punching if we don't.
Yeah,
get in the-
I'll say the moment Ebony's like gentle movement, Hatfield kind of like whirls around, brandishing a finger as though to jump, but is like very clearly just venting aggression.
Oh, Ghost Child, I found a thing just for this.
Why is there? What the fuck was that?
Don't worry about it. This
I'm
place
scared.
is haunted.
Actually, that's actually scary though. Hold on, that's my
Oh, I've
actual
got-
fear.
I have more
No.
of those as well.
No, don't do this. Don't do this.
Shout out, thank you, Tina. I still use them.
Oh, son of a bitch. No ghosts. No actual ghost kids. Ghost kids are actually my fear. Don't, Wonton, don't.
There's in London by Gaslight, one of the things that we had were the urchin children, which were an amalgamation of dolls, broken dolls that children had thrown out, and actual abandoned orphan children of various ages that would just come at you in waves out of alleyways and kidnap members of the coterie to be their mummy. And that was why we have that. I made a brilliant sound effect for that.
Why?
I want you to find that sound because it's great. It's a horror game. What do you fucking want in a horror game?
Because it's amazing. Victorian doll children. Wow.
I don't know. I don't know why this is actually what gets me. I'll take any other horror thing. I'll be like, oh, that's fine. Horror children.
Fair. Would you like me to advance you to the bookstore? I say advance you. It's like 20 feet away. Or would you like to carry on?
Crossing the
goodness.
street in the most aggressive fashion possible.
Oh, Christ.
Following Hatfield.
Alright.
Trying to
Bookstore.
like sit in the middle of like everyone like, oh god, we gotta go. I can't stop that. Oh shit, I'm the talker. I need to get in front. Fuck.
Might be smart.
That awkward race as Ebony tries to dart in front as Hatfield's just going and just flinging the doors open.
I mean, I'm wearing platform boots. God damn.
The door creaks open as a bell gently rings, welcoming you into the warm but disorganized
Gently?
shop. The bell gently rings. It's a small bell. Trinkets, bric-a-brac, and various miscellanea haphazardly placed on shelves, tables, and anywhere space affords. Solid brass idols mingled in with old leather-bound age-worn books. At the back of the store, behind a glass cabinet displaying the only objects for sale that have been organized, is an old man. His black hair giving way to the grey of time, as his eyes dangle on the end. His eyes dangle on the end of his nose. Who wrote this bullshit? His glasses dangle on the end of his nose. Akron hasn't finished with him yet. Hasn't even
Well, this
started
is a
with him.
horror game.
As he ignores the strange object in his hand and looks towards you all, assessing you all silently before inhaling and giving you all a smile. Good evening. Welcome to Ray's Occult Bookshop, your one-stop shop for all your occult and supernatural needs. I'm Ray. My brother Elwood is out on a mission right now. Sorry, little joke there. How can I help you tonight? Perhaps a seance? I have a contact that is highly rated and offers reasonable rates.
As he's talking, Acheron is going to do a wits and awareness for the shop for anything interesting that may be useful to us in our current affairs. I see nothing, apparently. I'm gonna willpower reroll.
I would like to do the same, but with occult and intelligence, if possible. Thank you very much.
It's only 2.
Two, I mean, the tomes, they're a cut above the regular kind malarkey kind of thing, you know? There's some genuine stuff in there, it's a little bit of intrigue, but this is beneath you. Occult and wits, no, wits and occult, please. Oh, and Akron, I'm going to tell you as well too. You've got that nagging feeling that you're missing something somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Four. Ardala, you're subtly checking out the till. You're looking at small, little objects. You're looking at patterns in the wood. You're seeing what's there, and that's when you notice there is a ward between the shopkeeper and yourselves. You can't quite make out what the ward is for, but it is there.
Okay, I have, if it's like something like that, I do have like one more dice for my specialty in rituals and occult.
Go on then. Give it a roll.
Five.
Oh, I like the cut of your jib.
Mm-hmm.
That is a ward against kindred.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And as it is a ward against kindred, you know, innate knowledge, and if this is relayed on to you as well, Akron, this would be knowledge that Akron has as well innately of ward against kindred is no easy thing. That is
it's not.
Very complex, difficult
that's
ritual.
A level
that is also
5.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
just
that is also
learned it.
something that you're not going to be able to cross particularly easily, even with your own skills. And then everyone else would have to cross it individually as well, and then get back over it.
If
Yeah,
is that
I
related
found
to
it
me?
in the book. Remember that one that I learned
Oh,
the
that's
5th
right.
level blood sorcery from? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Is that related to Akron? The that the ward is there?
As soon as I see it, I will approach you and whisper it into your ear.
Okay. I hear it. Interesting. Okay, there's several ways that I want to approach this. Let me think on it. I think Akron nods in response but stays silent and is now looking very intensely at the shopkeeper himself, at Ray. You guys can feel free to talk to him, but Akron is watching him.
Do you want a wits awareness roll for that, or do you just want to?
Yeah, I mean, sure, I'll wits awareness, but the idea is simply that Akron is watching them.
Again,
you know?
I'm gonna have to implement my own common sense because it would make no sense for you to freak out failing this.
Mhm.
So I'm not. If you roll a messy critical, it's not going to be the end of the world kind of messy critical. It's
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
So that you understand what my intent is with it, I'm looking at his behavior. I'm trying to see, like, is he aware that, I mean, probably at the sight of Akron alone, that a bunch of kindred just walked into his shop. I know he has regular dealings with kindred, but I'm trying to see is there nervous energy? Is there, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm watching him for.
I got you.
It's a 4. So as, like, the others talk to him, that's what Akron's doing.
For his behavior, he's strange. He's like he's talking to regular customers, and as you very correctly pointed out, he should not be acting like that.
Okay.
No regular kind would behave like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I'll allow the others to talk.
I have no idea what I meant to ask this man. I feel dumb. It's like all thoughts in my brain just left is the player.
Did the car break down? Do you need? We've got a phone. Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Damn it! Like, Ray, you sell incense, buddy.
Of course.
Do we know the name of whoever went missing?
It's
Like the part where we
you're
found the
after
thing?
Tremere Primogen, Van Buren.
I was just trying to figure out if we found any. I remember like that incense was specifically at a location. I don't remember if there was a person there.
It
No,
was
we
where you
found
were all
the
picked up.
we found the instance at the location where the car met us when we left the oubliette. That took the car
Okay.
that took us to Van Buren. So we're following the trail of Van Buren here.
I mean-
There was the implication that Van Buren maybe gets occult supplies from here or something.
Or I could. I'm just worried I'm gonna save Van Buren and get us all fucking intact.
Just about to say it.
What's Van Buren's first name?
I don't think we've ever gotten it.
Vaughn.
I'm gonna
Truck.
Anyhow,
I can't. I
You could
can't
try-
say anything when I'm laughing.
You could try referring to him as Mr. Brown, because that was his alias when we were in Dreamland.
True.
Shit. All right.
Can I? Fucking hell! You're taking an XP point immediately for that. Jesus Christ! Wow.
Oh,
Someone's
thank you.
actually used the game to their advantage. Oh my God!
was
This
a
is a
whole-
happy day.
Bro, that's a poll I would have forgot.
I was Mr. Brown.
I was him.
Mm-hmm.
You were him. We're him. All right. You happen to sell to anyone going by Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown? Probably. It's a very common name. Can you be more specific?
May have bought some incense recently.
I'll tell you what. Do a wits awareness roll for me, please.
Do that. This is fine. That was the best I could have done.
Good.
Without danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
I'm just trying to find the bit of information that I want to give you for that. Ah, there it is. Ebony, you see upon Ray's neck, almost hidden by his shirt collar, is a small scar, barely noticeable despite it being quite deep and vivid. It is clearly old as it has healed over. See, the scar is in the shape of the Ventru clan symbol. This is the practice that is usually done to mark ghouls, but Ray doesn't seem to show any normal signs of being a ghoul.
Oh. Ooh, hold on. I have. Oh. Is there. Could he have been a former ghoul? Fuck.
No such thing as a former Ventru ghoul in a Camarilla city,
know.
is there?
No, you'd have to somehow kill the venture and pray.
I'll tell you
That
what,
thing's not that
would
old.
you like, I don't
yeah, I'm
know,
about to
say
say,
20, 30 minutes to think about it?
I'm scared that you. Oh wait, yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah? Well, isn't that convenient? Because we're about to go on break. Noscavian, hit it! Right on time. Perfect. Never misses a cue, that man.
An occult intelligence is what I would like to do, but I will do wits as
Okay.
well. Okay.
Intelligence is fine.
Okay. I will sort of like lean over to Ardala and whisper to her what I see so that I can get a +1 with her occult
Damn
knowledge as
right.
well. Wonderful. Intelligence. +1. It's a critical.
I'm so glad you're getting rid of the critical rolls just on this. This is lovely, excellent. This is an older trick that some kindred were known to employ to make use of kine being unwitting servants. A passphrase is said by the kindred which activates the kine as an agent. It's a perfect way to hide things, as the kine is completely unaware of anything until the passphrase is active. An ingenious use of submerged directive. All you need to do is find out what the passphrase is. Which, by the way, it comes down to you say something and do a roll. I'm not making you search through a bookstore for some weird passphrase.
Okay. I will, as the others are engaged, I will lean over to Ardala with the assumption that at least most of the coterie has their earpieces in, and I will divulge that information to her about this essentially being submerged directive.
You know who I think might know a catchphrase that would be really good at this is the Ventru in your group.
Yes, quite possibly. But gonna give them a moment.
I mean,
And
looks
Yes.
at
I mean,
Roland.
I'm a Ventru too.
yes, I said it over the earpiece, so I'm giving you a moment
Okay.
to try to figure out.
Oh yeah,
what you-
sorry, I meant Roland. I'm so sorry. I
Yeah.
don't
No,
think
you're
of
fine.
Ebony as Ventru. I just think of Ebony as this force of nature. Ventru's
Right,
one
no,
of my fucking characters alongside Hatfield.
I said it over the earpiece so that everyone could get involved on the collaboration of what this passphrase could be, but giving them a minute to process it, because I basically just said this is a ghoul that's not a ghoul, you know.
It could be Van
Roland
Buren's
hasn't-
name.
True. I was gonna say Roland hasn't been in Oxford for too long, but is there anything you would have picked up on that might give him a clue, or or would Van Buren be a good guess? Because that is kind of a good guess.
The only I think, like,
Do charisma and occult bollocks. Sorry, Rissa, what were you saying? I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Cool.
just you might have to rouse the blood, buddy.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, but just above table as to why I don't think it would be Van Buren is because Van Buren is a Tremere, and I don't think the Ventru would want to make the passcode a person that this man sells things to. Because every time that man comes in and he's like, you know, I am Van Buren or whatever the fuck, shit'll pop off, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how well that would go.
I guess it'd have to be something that's not commonly said.
Right, especially if it's somebody that like comes asking about Van Buren, like
Also,
there's
there's presumably
too many
other
variables.
people who shop here than just Van Buren, and it would be kind of just like,
I will PM you the answer, Roland.
Can I willpower?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be a crit
That's
though, right?
4.
It would,
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
4 and
Yeah.
a crit.
Okay.
Nice.
I have PM'd you.
Yeah. So like when Acheron says this over the the earpiece, but is looking at Ardala, it is with the context of like, if this initiates a sort of like spy mode, right? Watch what you fucking say. Like watch what you give out, what information you give. So
I would just step forward and like look at him, and in a quiet voice, I would say, "Iced ink strongly."
I know,
Oh
I
my
can
God.
smell you from here. That roll was not a success.
mhm.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
Good one.
Yeah, but we watch what we say now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When I look at this guy, right, other than the scar, is there any other kinds of modifications on him?
He's a very plain old dude, to be
Okay.
honest with you. It's just that weird scar.
Okay. Are those incense on display?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to go over and, take a look at them. With, with occult knowledge, right? What is it that Van Buren, like ritual-wise, whatever, what is it that he would have used these for? Do you know what I'm saying?
I remember. Fuck, I remember. Thank God I remember. They're not, they're not an actual ingredient in any specific ritual. They were used to help meditate, cleanse the mind, keep focus while performing a ritual. And it wasn't some weird new age thing like the smell of rain, petrichor to keep it. This was a genuine thing that has some supernatural qualities that does ease
the mind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go up to this fellow. Ray. We are interested in collecting some items for a ritual. We are picking them up for this Mr. Brown that was mentioned before. He unfortunately was indisposed and wasn't able to give us much detail, but I imagine you have logs of some kind of previous purchase? Perhaps you can help us narrow Yes, perhaps you can narrow down the ingredients that were necessary.
Out of game. I don't know what you're asking for here. What can I give you here? What are you asking for?
Okay, so what I'm asking for, right, is you said that the fucking incense and stuff was used to perform a ritual. I'm trying to find out what that ritual is, and I'm thinking if I can look at what the ingredients were.
No. The incense would just be anyone could use it, and it's just to cleanse the mind. It's not used as an ingredient to do.
I know.
With a ritual.
I know.
No? Okay.
Yeah. What I'm asking is, right, the person.
You want different ingredients.
Yeah. The person who recently bought that to clear their mind, they would have also bought other ingredients for the ritual, and so I'm trying to find out what those are, so I can find out the ritual. Yes.
Yeah, you're employing that thing in your head called brain, and I'm just here like, I'm Internet Explorer. Do Wits and Awareness for me, please.
Yes, why? Yes, okay, I will do this. I imagine that's not enough. I'm gonna willpower reroll.
No, I'm afraid it won't be, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna reroll at 2, 3, and the 5. Okay, it's a 4 now.
In the meanwhile, I'm just gonna focus on this guy and that mark and like conjure a premonition.
Okay, I will get to that in a moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll in the meanwhile, okay?
Yes, that would be perfect, actually, please. Rouse checking all the nice gubbins, Acheron.
I'm gonna rouse
you
check
look
twice
around.
to add some
dice. Some blood dice.
I mean, it's not going to be a particularly difficult roll, because you're not looking hours and hours into the future. It's not going to be stupidly difficult. I don't think you'd need the extra rouse, but it is your choice. Acheron, you'll notice, as you're mentioning this, one of your things to do is study humans. You know that when you're talking about something, naturally the eyes tend to flick to what it is that you're talking about, especially if they're trying to hide it or conceal it. And the number of times you notice he's looking at this specific paper on the table, that you can just about make out several different entries, many of them going to various places across the city. Bodleian Library, the Banu Hakim Haven you recognise the name of, the Oxford Crematorium, places like that. Those are places that are receiving very large suspicious orders. I say suspicious. The Banu Hakim receiving occult items is not suspicious.
Yeah.
The Bodleian Library would be suspicious. The crematorium is fucking wild.
Cool. Is this paper within my reach? Like, is it closer to him or me?
Remember the ward?
That's why I'm asking if it's closer to him or me.
It's on his side of the till.
Okay, wonderful.
It's where the ward is. Like I would have pointed it out. It's a circle. It's a little thing. Like it's like
a personal little shield.
If you pass that, you're gonna get hurt.
Okay.
Ardala.
Yeah. 5 successes.
You cast your mind just a few minutes into the future, where you have all learned already of the passcode, and you look at yourself as you stare Ray in the eyes, and you say, "Walt sent me."
My eyes just glaze a little bit for like a second, and then when I come back to it, like as you're, investigating the paper,
Doing my thing. Yeah.
I look at Ray in the eyes, and I'm like, Walt sent me.
And he glasses over, just like you did a moment ago. He practically stares straight through you, as his arm reaches out slowly towards the till, when you hear the click of a button, and to your side, the panel wall and shelf swing back to an open doorway, a short corridor now revealed to you, at the end of which is a set of metal lift doors resting closed.
Okay. I simply nod at Ray and say, thank you for your assistance. And if we're gonna go through the fucking door, I'll go follow. And once we go through the door, I will then divulge the information that I saw on the page.
Sorry, you said you were getting in the door. I was. That's me there, stepping into the lift that comes into life.
I am aware that there's definitely some powerful fucking sorcery in this bitch. I'm still looking for signs of possible wards that are gonna hurt the fuck out of us.
Yeah, so we don't walk into it.
I understand, and I will let you know.
Once we're in, I will say to the coterie, those deliveries were made to crematorium, Oxford's crematorium, the library, and where was the other one? The Banu Hakim, sorry.
Bodleian Library. Sorry.
Which is where I was.
Right.
And it's like, well, this makes sense.
Yeah, one of those
The other
places
two?
tracks.
The other two?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is the crematorium gonna be doing with that shit?
Well, I imagine...
Are they doing seances over there? Are they offering, spiritism, congregations, or what?
We know that the Hakata are often engaged with such places. It would not be the first time that they've done a ritual in such a space. But crematoriums, there are ashes everywhere. No matter how much you attempt to get into the container, and dusting everywhere. Ash can be used for many things in a ritual.
Mm-hmm.
And there are the ash finders of the Sabbat. It would not be our first dealings with the Sabbat in this city. The library is very strange to me.
Yeah, library also strange for sure.
Shiv, is the library the place where the prince was at?
Yeah. It's where the prince holds office.
The library is where the prince is, where they hold council. So, rituals that possibly Hakata are doing in the crematorium, and rituals that the prince is doing. The prince is a Ventru. That scar on the man's neck was that of a Ventru scar.
Yeah, it's one of their
submerged
abilities.
Perhaps the prince is far more involved than we thought. We found out they were one of the locations marked off for a drop-off of Wights. Mayhaps that's what they're using the Wights for. Maybe they're literally dropping Wights off for rituals. Wights are incredibly powerful.
Or we still don't know how they're making them.
Maybe that's the ritual. Is there a ritual? So it says out loud, is there a ritual that can make Wights?
So I have a specialty in both blood sorcery and rituals as far as occult, and I have occult 5. Okay.
You do it, yeah.
So,
Wait.
like, would I know anything about, like,
You would
you know?
absolutely know, and no, you did. No, you can't.
There
do that.
isn't, right? Like, there isn't,
No.
like, a way of,
But
like, just
it-
bypassing the natural, like, decaying of humanity
No,
in,
not
like,
well.
a kindred, right?
Yes,
Like,
actually, yes, there would be.
Hmm.
But that would mean, psychological torture. Actually
right, that's
forcing them
what
to
I
do
was
things
thinking. It's
but
like,
you
just
can't.
taking
There's
out.
no magical thing.
Right, there's no magical way of doing it, but like there
But yeah,
is like
but you could-
psychological
like,
and mental shit
you could do
that you can do
yeah.
to a kindred that will make him or her them
I mean,
lose their humanity completely to the point of becoming a white.
I mean, there is the Malkavians can aid in something like that. They have an ability that will make you see things that aren't there, make you go through things that would have you losing humanity at a rapid pace, should they choose to.
That is correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Some crematoriums have. I mean, they're not morgues, but they have to have places for a lot of bodies, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They can store bodies, yeah.
I'm just thinking about in the process of making these whites, storing their bodies, the people in the crematorium, and then that's where you do something because no one's going to go inside an old crematorium. And that's why it would still be in use, but the furnace isn't.
Right. Depending on the white that which clan the white came from, you can get all sorts of abilities that way. It's quite possible that this is a stretch, but it's quite possible that the prince has been collecting abilities via whites. It's just a thought. I mean, diablerie alone, you consume another kindred, you can get more, you can make yourself more powerful.
Well, there is such a thing as, that is a very frowned upon thing in the Camarilla.
Right, but the Camarilla is known for breaking their own rules should it convenient
I'm
them.
not saying that that is not the truth. I'm just saying that at that level, it would be almost impossible to keep it a secret, if that makes sense.
You're not wrong. I mean...
Wouldn't it be easier if it was the prince themselves?
That's what I'm saying. If you want to ensure that you keep your power, you could do whatever you want, and you're too strong for anyone to stop you.
So, brass tacks. What are we saying? What's the ostriches this time?
So, God, it's difficult, but... Oh, go ahead, sir.
Crematorium is off limits to all but the upper echelon. The prince is one of the people that could go there with no impunity because, they made the fucking rule.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like that's the place to go. Clearly the prince is the enemy.
So
If to say it.
What sounds like is that the prince has access to these both locations and is indeed the common denominator in this equation.
Yes. Between their meeting house, which is the library, and the crematorium. Depending how old it is, these old crematoriums had tunnels. You could get there and never be noticed.
This is a very, very modern. I don't want you chasing your tail on this, but this is a very modern crematorium.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
Nobody shoots.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
This
If it's
literally
modern.
a bungalow.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Crematorium. There's no huge smokestacks or anything like that.
Okay. Well, then never mind then. Regardless, yeah. As the prince, you can move about the city and no one would fucking know. And if they did know, they're not gonna fucking say anything. So what we are saying here, brass tacks, is
Right, and he would be definitely able to have access to both locations.
that... And so you have the ability to consume these wights and gain whatever power, right? But then also, if anyone tries to rat on you, you've got their locations in which you can send a fucking wight.
I mean,
I have it.
I'm just
here in the
remembering
tip
a
of
certain
my-
Mr. Rat claiming friends in high places.
Mayhaps that thin blood was referring to very specifically the prince. Although the prince...
Oh no,
Did
I'm
we-
not talking about the thin blood.
Oh, I had left before I found out, before I got to witness the Mr. Rat situation.
Yeah.
But yes, it was an Archon.
Archon.
It was an Archon.
Shiv? I know
Hello.
that there is. Okay, this is me, Phoenicia. Like, my brain is dead. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that there is a way of hiding diablerie streaks, or the taint of diablerie.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not
Mhm.
tripping. Like, am I...
I'm pretty sure there is. I can't remember. I'm not sure if it was
There's-
a ritual or something, but yeah.
So,
Can somebody help me out? Like, I can roll, but like, I know that there is. I remember reading it. I don't know if it's in the V20
Mm-hmm.
that I know, or if
Mhm.
it's in the V5.
I want to say it's in V5 Cults of Blood Gods, but I
As
can't
well?
remember.
It
Because
might
I
be.
know that there is for sure in V20. I don't remember if it was like a specific.
I will say this: it
Tremere-like
might be.
thing.
It might be in the Cult of the Blood Gods, because the Cult of the Blood Gods is where the Ashfinders are.
I feel like it's like an obfuscate power.
But we might be able to skip this and, not skip it, sidestep it by saying what is it you're after directly.
No, I would want to know, like, obviously, like, since I have, like, specialty in blood sorcery and rituals and like a good amount of occult knowledge, like, if I had the knowledge of how to do it, then if it would make it more plausible for the prince to be actually hiding this practice that he's been doing. Like, with all the connections that, like, he has and stuff, and the power that he would hold in city.
I would say that you at least have knowledge that it is possible.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just voice that out, like, as I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it. Like,
Yeah. You know
comment
who
that.
might have actual knowledge of this? Mithras. And I look at Hatfield.
Who just looks exhausted.
I immediately like.
Yeah. Mithras would know. The man figured out how to body jump. And not just, one body, several.
I mean, he's currently spread thin across who knows how many people. Yeah, he knows a thing or two about stuff.
Yeah, so maybe it's a time to ask the voice in your head, Hatfield.
What are you trying to ask specifically? I'll be honest, there's a lot of talk going every which way, and I'm currently just hoping with the fact that we're trying to solve mysteries in a place where anybody can look like anything, and who knows what's even possible.
Okay, well...
Yeah, for all we know, Hatfield drank the Kool-Aid and punched a hole into the cobweb or some wild shit,
You're not wrong.
And, like, we're talking about the prince, this and that, but, like, again, we've been Rami'd so many times.
Yes, so, I'm looking at fucking Hatfield. Hatfield has been present for all these conversations, and I just say, Mithras, I know you're in there. Is there anything you can contribute to this conversation of what is or is not possible for the prince to be hiding?
A prince with total control can hide anything they so wish.
Stare at Hatfield.
Yeah, Hatfield just looking just exhausted. Top brass can hide whatever they want, like.
Or
Yeah.
whatever.
You got
Sure.
everything, you got everybody, you got all the control, like...
Yeah. The one person that wasn't on that list on the King Club situation with the Wights was Van Buren. Perhaps.
So, again, you're... At this point, we're speculating that the prince is making these Wights and is planning a delivery drop to... What's the story we're spinning here? I've lost the plot.
What if
Well,
it's
that's-
entertainment, Hatfield? I used to keep lupine. We would throw them around the city. Once a year, hunt them. Grand old Christmas time.
I wasn't
Perhaps
asking
your prince is doing this. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought a moment ago when you were asking me directly.
I wasn't asking you. I
asking
wasn't
me
asking you.
directly.
Somebody else was asking you. Thank you. I was asking... Sorry.
What happened to us, Hatfield? When did we get like this, Hatfield?
This
Hatfield.
bookstore is ripping us apart, Lisa.
Hatfield. Is there something he's saying?
He's making the suggestion that maybe the prince is taking this time of absolute upheaval with a plague ravaging the entirety of Oxford to have a fun little hunt and just release Wights out for the heck of it.
What the fuck?
That's why I'm telling him that, like, that's not what I'm asking about right now. Yes, I took it under consideration,
Right.
Mr. Big Guy, but right now,
Huh? What did I mean?
not you. You're Mr. Big Slip.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
I'm trying to. What is the conspiracy we're spinning this time? What is the story that you're telling me, Acheron?
What I'm telling you is that the prince is clearly very deeply involved and quite honestly is either using these Wights as a hunt, as Mithras has suggested, or in a ritual to get powerful. Either way.
And we've come to that conclusion based off of what? I know that the name was the thing. I'm just trying to make 2 and 2 equal 4 because there's a lot going on. Like I'm genuinely what is. I'm not saying I'm not like.
The library, which is receiving ingredients and such from Ray's shop, is the prince's place where he holds or where they hold council.
Mm-hmm.
The crematorium is off limits to all kindred except the prince, who made the fucking rule that no one can fucking go there. The Banu Hakim was also on that list, but it makes sense for them to be buying things from an occult shop. They're an occult clan.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the bags, that's their thing.
Yeah.
So I am simply suggesting that one of two things is happening. Either, as Mithras has said, is releasing these Wights for fun, for playtime, or is using the Wights as a part of a ritual to get more powerful. One of those things. That's what we're
And
saying.
I get that's where the thread in my brain doesn't connect.
I'm not sure what you could get out of a Wight that you couldn't get out of a less dangerous sacrifice.
Yeah.
Or
How do we know that
That's
the
fair.
prince is doing the thing with the Wights? Because like ordering incense from a bookshop ain't exactly
It's not just the incense, it's the other ingredients. The ritual. I tried to see what the ingredients were. I would give us a clear view of what the
my
ritual
point
was.
isn't
but-
the incense. My point is that the receipt just goes to a location, but the Wights didn't come from the bookshop. Was the bookshop
know.
one of the? What wasn't? We got the bookshop address from the place, but was the bookshop a drop point for the Wights too, or what was that?
Yes, within a mile, I believe.
So
of the
then the
bookshop.
Wights wouldn't be coming from buying here. Wouldn't necessarily lead back to the Wights, would it?
what's
I
don't
guess-
know.
At this point, I
Fucking
don't
me
know.
up is how do you get that many Wights?
Yeah, that's what I want
Right.
to know.
How the fuck?
Player actually needs this info because I think we have it.
Hmm.
What is the end result of the plague again? Like, what's left over?
Well, you die,
Yeah, I think you
basically.
get axed.
But it's
But do you
it's-
die, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
you die
fine
for
death.
real. You die for
Okay.
real. The
I-
plague acts like a disease, and like all of your teeth fall out and shit, and then eventually you succumb to true death because you can't feed anymore and stuff. So.
Kindred scurvy.
I love the idea, though, that some kindred do turn to ash, and that sometimes there's just someone who's out there with a pipette. It's just like, nope, not that one. One day. Oh, fucking hell, it worked!
Right. Yeah, so the plague itself is just to wipe out kindred. That's all. Is to just wipe us out as a whole by infecting our feeding supply.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I knew the exact
Mhm.
end result, because my brain was like, did an earlier version just turn us into whites?
God, that's
Okay,
scary.
I found
Was
it.
like the first round.
Yeah.
There is a level 4 blood sorcery that puts a blockade against Cry the Soul to hide diablerie and other vampiric stuff.
Yeah. So even if we figure it out, we can never. No one could look at the prince or his upper, their circle and
If
go,
he
yeah,
has
they're definitely
that,
doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So we're fucked. Is what I've discovered.
It does make me wonder
Mm.
if. Ooh. This might be stupid. Grain of
we're
salt.
in ostriches
I
on
mean,
the
we're
moon
all
territory,
shit.
Slip.
What
spit it out.
if? What if the Wight is what happens when you embrace an infected mortal? Something about the virus in their body interacting with that initial hit.
Oh. Now there's a
I
thought.
mean, that,
And it's cockamamie. I agree. But
But it would explain why all of them are so modern.
and why they can fucking make them like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why they make them so quickly? They simply infect them with the plague, embrace them. Now they're whites.
I mean, it's a possibility.
A very plausible one, frankly.
Yeah.
They could also be thin bloods that watch too much television. I don't know.
Well, thin bloods is another. I do wonder if the.
But how would that even, the plague, how would that make their humanity disappear? I believe that
I don't
that's
know.
how one becomes a white. You lose all humanity and you become a monster. An empty
Yeah.
shell of violence and
we
hunger.
The way I'm
don't know what
thinking,
radio
happens to
DJ.
him.
the
We
reason
don't know what
I'm
already happens to a mortal that's already infected.
right, that's why I'm saying that, something about the humanity might be lost in the reanimation process because of the plague. Like, it might be blocking something like that. It may be because it changes it. Like, it breaks us down. What if it breaks down that tether? Well, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the whole
What
thing.
if-
When they infect the mortals, it doesn't actually give them any symptoms, but it lies dormant within them, right? But the minute that they become a kindred, that's when it takes effect.
What if it makes them die? You know what I mean? Like, they die. Body's still
Oh, yeah.
there, but they're
Just
gone.
without the
which is
bits
why
that
there's
were
no
them.
humanity.
Again,
Right,
makes as much
exactly.
sense as anything. I'm gonna say there's
I mean, doesn't that
no
thing
point
mess up with all
speculating.
the cells and
there's
messes
no
with
point
everything?
speculating too much because again, we're chasing ostriches on the moon. Like
Yeah,
we got no way
we
of
don't
confirming
know.
this, but it's a plausible theory as any. And honestly, as far as it goes, I kind of like it.
That one's. I mean, it's
true.
as far as all the things that we've speculated on, it's the most concrete.
Don't say my cockamamie shit's the most concrete. Don't do that to me.
But it is.
It's
But
a
it
little
actually
bit.
is.
We're kind of in a place where we don't
Oh,
have
shit.
very many answers.
At the very least, it's
Yeah.
a single pebble in your hand as opposed to a massive conspiracy board and a tangle of rainbow strings. Like
Right.
When all of the ideas are bad ideas, there are no bad ideas. I like it.
exactly.
Where do you think this lift leads? Because we definitely just walked in here without a second thought.
That's
At this point, do you think I care?
Ron's looking up at the top of the lift like, well, shit.
I feel like we've been going down.
Oh,
for
did I not tell you we're
quite a
playing
long
aliens this week?
time.
I'm sorry.
What did you say, Barry?
I said I think we've been going down for quite a long time.
Maybe
yeah,
it's
yeah.
stuck. Thump,
We
thump.
must be near the 616th floor or something like that.
Barry, I paid 50 quid. Shut up and get back to it.
Amazing. So here
Lord.
we are. in this lift that goes to somewhere and we don't know where. Amazing. All right.
To
I'm
be
gonna
fair, how
fucking
often do we know where we're going before we get there?
yeah. I'm gonna fucking bone blade it right now because yes, we don't know where the fuck we're going.
Just gonna pull out my gun.
Yeah.
You know,
Vicissitude.
I'll put up my dukes.
Yeah.
For
Vicissitude
your-
is.
face and hands, because
All you
we're
need
not.
to do for your bone blades just arouse.
Oh, okay,
Ace.
that's what I'll do.
Again, elevator, dramatic consequences in an elevator, just not going to make any narrative sense.
One face and hand, the other hand on Ebony's wrist, putting the gun back into the purse.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not. Let's not pop off until it's time to pop off. All right? If we come out guns blazing on like yield shopkeeper.
I was going to wait.
Right. I will say this. The bone blades happen. Because it takes me a minute to do stuff like that, so I need the extra time to make things happen while Ebony doesn't, because she could just pull out the gun, right? But I need the bone blades ready. So, you know.
Barry's gonna activate Eyes of the Beast.
I feel strange being the one to like advocate a non-violent solution if possible, but until we know there's a threat on the other side of that door, please.
Someone do wits and awareness for me, please.
I
Y'all got it.
have a pool.
Go on.
Just one of
It's
us?
not. It is not a difficult roll. Not at all.
I still don't think I should
Not
want
at
to
all.
do it.
All of
I
us
think Roland should do this because Roland's just sat there all fucking night, quiet, and let's get him involved, man. Roland, wits and awareness, please.
No pressure.
Fuck. Let's make you the
I know,
fuck up
watch
this
me
week.
fail this roll now.
Don't fuck this up, brother.
I know. Charisma awareness, right?
Wits
No,
awareness.
wits and awareness.
Sorry,
Wits
wits awareness.
awareness.
Not charisma awareness. I'm sorry.
Oh my
Guys,
god.
you're right.
Yeah,
Too pretty for that.
I'm already.
Roland, roll
I'm
the fucking
frazzled.
dice.
So all of us are aware, though. Like
Yeah,
maybe
that's
if you
fine.
put like a
That's
few,
fine.
a few other.
Is that fine? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine, right? It's very easy roll. I just wanted you to notice, Roland, that as you're descending down this elevator, at some point, you don't quite know when, you noticed it got colder.
How much colder? Like quite a bit colder?
Significantly. Not see your breath kind of cold, but I should have worn a jumper today.
Yeah. It's a winter's day, you know.
Oh no!
Should have worn 3 pairs of socks. This,
Mhm.
2 for me feet, 1. But anyway,
I just would like,
That's-
in an imitation of life, just like rub my arms and be like, "Does anyone notice the temperature change? Or is that just me?"
It's not that bad. My meat wagon gets colder.
You've got
Refrigerator, something down
insulation,
here?
Barry.
It can
Yeah.
get very cold underground.
I mean, I'm wearing like 3 jackets. I wouldn't know. I'll
I
take
know,
it.
but to get this cold, we'd have to go pretty far, right?
I mean, again,
Still,
like
still
this is
going, maybe.
shop that does magic crap. Maybe they need to refrigerate something.
Like bodies.
Maybe.
I was going to say.
The bone blades click into place as I say, like bodies.
Also, if there's any shipping registers or ledgers down here, keep an eye out for dry ice in the verbiage. Dry ice is the polite way of writing down we're shipping bodies in an official
Right.
capacity.
Alrighty.
Okay, good to know.
Again, keep
You know that.
eyes open, keep alert, but
Yeah, I'm
let's
gonna
not
do a
pop
rouse
off
check
until there's something to
to-
pop at.
Bond with my weapon.
what? Excuse me?
I'm gonna do the one with the blade, where like I
Oh, the
Like
rouse.
the-
That's
the
what you need to do. Is a
blade,
rouse check.
the rouse check, yeah.
Beautiful.
Sorry, when you said you wanted to become one with the weapon and bone, I was like, are you gonna?
Yeah.
What? You're gonna kill yourself in the lift? What?
I'm one with my weapon. I use the weapon then like the sword that Slip made for me.
Ooh.
The lift comes to a halt, giving you all a gentle jolt as the doors then silently glide open. For a second, there is nothing but the heavy darkness in front of you. The silence is then broken by a heavy metallic clang and electric hum as bright blue-white metal halide lights ignite in front of you, cutting a path through the impenetrable darkness, lighting up another old computer at the end. The screen flashes to life almost as if responding to the overhead light, and invites you all forward. Barry, even with eyes of the beast, you don't seem to be able to penetrate this darkness.
Oh,
You
hell.
aren't quite sure, Wight. Sense the unseen, people. Roll for
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
It's dark as shit down here. What the fuck?
Can I also use
down here?
Auspex with? Oh, sorry. Can I also use heightened senses?
Yes.
Okay.
You can see the darkness all around you even more vividly.
Well, and I have
Really
also.
hear something. For hearing.
You've just gone from black to Vantablack.
Okay, hold on, so that's.
What about
Wits-
sound? Is there any sound
Oh.
in here?
Auspex.
Yeah, heightened senses.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, well done. Despite the enveloping darkness around you, you are able to make out walls,
Dang it.
the ceiling, the general shape. You're in what seems like a warehouse, on a platform that juts out into midair, suspending you several feet
God.
above the floor.
Fucking
As you
damn it.
cast your eyes down, you are able to make out something else. Purple, swirling, rippling auras, countless numbers of them. Wights. Once more, an entire warehouse of wights in torpor. Barry, you do not see the purple, rippling, swirling auras, just the outline of a very large warehouse. The fact, by the way, that both of you, the walls are what is showing up with Sense the Unseen means that this structure itself is supernatural. The computer, by the way, is not.
There's a
It's an
computer
apple.
here on the platform.
No, it's a pear.
There's a computer here on the platform.
Yes.
Okay.
Very end, straight in front, that has been lit up by this, row of igniting lights, and it's just terminal at the end.
Okay.
What
Jesus.
would you like to do?
Fuck.
Move.
I said something earlier that I wouldn't be surprised if there was just like warehouses
not-
with lights running down beneath the ground all over the world. I
Do
did not
not-
expect that to be serious.
Move. There are
Don't move. Don't move.
thousands of whites underneath us.
This
I
is
did not expect it to
exactly.
be legit.
This is exactly what it looked like.
In this place,
It's
whatever it is, it's supernatural. It's not real, per se. Not in the regular sense of real. Not like the computer over there.
like a ward.
It's something. It's an entity of its own.
Do you think the building itself might be abducting people and doing this to them?
I mean, we met a guy who's a house.
What
Right.
fucking
Maybe.
God?
I am going to. Ooh, okay. Acheron is going to step forward on the essentially the platform that continues onto the computer, and just touch a toe to make sure that the platform is actually there and it's not an illusion.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I will begin to move towards the computer, very carefully,
There
trying to be silent.
There are so many whites down here in this warehouse. Oxford is completely overrun by whites.
What if the other locations also have a similar thing here?
It's a bit outside of our scope, but here's the thing.
Mhm.
If for some reason Oxford goes full zombie apocalypse with whites,
We do got that bomb.
I'd be pretty okay with blowing it then, because
Yeah.
at that point we're just killing people quickly.
Yeah, mercy killings.
But let's try to avoid that entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is where we'll need your skill slip. Perhaps there's something to gain at this computer.
tippy-toe my way over Silence of Death style. I will enter the query of a question mark.
Whole body crouched over
I'm
the
so
keys
sorry.
like a question mark as well. You know, he's just the embodiment.
Every time I do that, I've just got
tiptoe long step.
I've just got Thriller in my head, and I'm like, anyway. The file structure is near identical to the terminal you found before. It's clearly the same setup, the same base OS. Question mark. This one has been tampered with. I need you to do intelligence and tech, or wits and tech, and hacking totally counts.
Okay.
Please.
Yes, story daddy. 5.
Damn, and to think I nearly gave you a +1 for calling me story daddy. Despite this terminal clearly being the same as the one you have encountered before, you can see that this one has been tampered with. The Ventru Primogen is listed as receiving a series of deliveries that abruptly ceased just last night. Though it'd be recent. It'd be like 3 nights ago at this point, I think now.
Yeah.
After a delivery that shows a simple 4+ active, as opposed to the sporadic 1 inactive as before.
Just look over at Akron and give the most expressive, like shrug of like, I don't fucking know what that means.
Holy shit.
I mean, you're looking at what I'm looking at, right?
Yeah. Hey, ST.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Hello.
You alright?
Is submerged.
No.
Yeah. Is submerged direction possible to do on a Wight? Or does
No.
is humanity required? Okay, understood.
I don't think you could use submerged directive on that.
Okay.
You can not do any dominate on a Wight.
Okay.
Go on.
All right.
Slip! Intelligence and tech! Hacking does not count for this.
4+, you said? Jesus Christ.
5.
Ooh, how can we disagree with that? The sporadic deliveries were all within a quarter of a mile of Oxford Crematorium, with the exception of the last entry that is directly at the crematorium itself. The entry ends with a simple phrase offering to expand network information. A simple Y and N flash on the screen as the blinking icon awaits your input.
Well, this could be a trap, 1,000%.
Fuck.
Yeah. I will
Okay.
press the key that you want me to.
Does anyone know the prince's name?
Wasn't it Jezebel?
Jezebel.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean, like, her
Jezebel.
full name is what I'm saying, not just Jezebel, like, her full. I know you know it, you fucking ass!
I mean, okay, this is gonna be weird as fuck. I don't think it'll help, but I technically have a specialty in etiquette for the tower itself.
There is no way in hell you any of
I
you
didn't think so.
scumlords are getting the prince's real name.
I'm sorry.
Right. That makes sense.
My thing with like the vent. That's the vent. Hold on. I actually have a massive status within the Ventru. Can I go about this the other angle? From the Ventru side.
Yes. I have a status 4 in the Camarilla.
So we got a status 3 in the Ventru and status 4 in the Cam. Who knows?
I'll let you roll the dice pool of 7.
Whomst?
Oh, you needed to be good.
Either Fenice or Softy, and yeah, it's going to be
What-
a difficult roll, though. It's
What-
going to be a very difficult roll.
Is it
in
just
a
a
room
dice
full of
pool?
whites. Yeah, yeah.
So either one of us could roll it.
Do it.
And
Do it,
sustain
Softy. I've rolled. I've rolled.
I
Okay.
remind you, you are in a room filled with thousands of whites.
Fine. It'll be fine.
And you are about to do an extremely difficult roll to find out the prince's real name, which
Dog,
may not even help you.
Shush, I'm rousing the blood. I'm already here. I'm going. Unless someone tells me to stop, I'm doing it.
So hold.
I tried!
Just hold 2 seconds. Just hold 2 seconds.
Just one
Well, I don't
second.
know they're committing thought crimes. I don't fucking.
Yeah, no. Above
Because
table, hold 2
this
seconds.
could mean the end of this, like, literally everything.
Right.
Like,
No,
we're
I
not
just-
going to be
V20.
battling, like, 1,000 fucking, like, whites.
Oh,
right?
yeah. And here's another bit. Wonton's in chat, so...
Fuck. No.
He wouldn't.
So hold
Please.
1
He
second.
would.
Just
He
so
would.
that I can say, I need a confirmation. How many of the drop-offs are active? Because I know you mentioned there was a certain amount that are active.
They're not an active thing. They're like dead drop zones. They're like, there was a dead drop here on this day. There was a drop
Oh,
there on
I
this day. And
see.
they're, consequently,
Okay.
not
Okay.
reused.
Okay.
Which one is the latest?
The most recent one was directly at the crematorium, which showed a drop-off of 4 active, as opposed to the previous ones, which were very sporadic, as 1 inactive.
Does
don't
it
wanna-
show what it was dropped off, or no?
Nope, just that.
Just that
Just
drop
that there was
Just
a
active and
drop-off.
inactive.
I don't want to throw more speculation, so I'll save that bit for later.
Can we think about this, like, maybe upstairs? Just an idea.
Well,
You
Is
don't
there-
want any extra
is-
information?
Is
I
there
could
anything
press-
else? Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Is there anything else on the computer other than this bit here?
Like,
So I
Okay.
could either hit this Y, and we
Mhm.
could get more information, or could be a trap. Because why would the people working here need more information?
If it was tampered with,
Right.
can you find out like a sort of backhacking thing? In what way it was tampered with?
Well, I would need to know the original state, and I don't.
I see.
I wouldn't know what was changed. So, extend a finger and slowly lower it towards the Y key, giving Acheron time to stop him. And if Acheron doesn't stop me before I finish this statement, then
I will say this, okay? Above table,
Uh-huh.
I truly don't know what choice we have, right? Like, it's either Ebony activates rousing of the blood in order to get the prince's name, and we go from there, or you press yes, and we're fucking out here, boys. You know what I mean?
we have the choice of not doing anything, having the information that this place is here, knowing how to access this place as well, and fucking leaving.
Choice of saying, "Hey, ST, great plot you got here. We're going to the arcade."
Lowering my
Like,
finger
Hey,
towards
we
oh,
had
hey, the prince is
this.
involved in this. I'm done.
wait a
See you
minute.
later.
Oh, I
Like, oh,
mean,
shit.
I got shit to do at home. I don't want to. I don't want to undie tonight. It's all right. The prince is
No,
fine. It's their city.
The thing is, we can do things if we're still undead. But we won't be able to do anything if we fuck up right now.
Yeah.
But
So-
you could also be undeaded once more if you make the wrong move, considering that the prince has been thrown into the mix here, and if you start throwing fingers and accusing the prince of
Correct.
something.
Correct. So, like, we need to think about things, right? We can't just, like, be doing things, like, willy-nilly.
You could just have this
and
information dumped at the press of a Y. Or you
Well,
could
here's the
roll a
thing.
very hard roll, or you could just fuck off.
Here's the thing. Acheron didn't stop me before I finished my statement. Therefore, it has been pressed.
It is what it is at this
I'm
point.
by the elevator or whatever. Like, I'm
I
literally
understand.
there.
It is what it
have
is.
not moved.
To be honest
I
with you,
have
I
stayed
I
over
feel
there.
like
You're all gonna be
Useless,
so.
no
You're all gonna
protest
just
was made.
so since
You're just gonna
Y
look at me
order
like-
pressed,
look.
Yeah.
As soon as I finish this
always-
sentence, you're just gonna be like,
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's hear it.
It's fine. Just press
Alright,
yes.
let's-
Yeah.
I hope I
am
look
the
like that.
elevator. Nobody can take that away from me.
The computer's dated hard drive crunches loudly into life, gently echoing
Oh,
around the
no.
strange structure.
Oh,
The screen blinks and then starts cascading text across the monitor. It shows a monthly summary of deliveries of kindred vitae around the city to various members of the Primogen. The document clearly shows the entire operation distributes whites to be used as vitae for kindred that need more potent blood to satisfy their hunger. As you look over the document and the delivery structure, you realize that the leads you have don't point at the prince. They point from the prince. This entire network that skirts the greatest tradition of them all, the Masquerade, is owned and run by the prince. You have barely finished coming to this conclusion when you hear
Shutting down.
I
And we're running.
fluorescent tubes that line the base of the wall light up the base at long last, revealing caged whites now awake, thrashing against themselves, trying to tear the metal away as the frenzied starving screams rush around you. What would you like to do?
Leave.
We're leaving.
Alright.
What? We don't want to just fight them all?
We're leaving. We're getting in the thing.
I mean,
and we're
you're
leaving.
welcome to.
I'm with you, Barry, but I don't think we can do it just the two of us.
Literally, Ebony, hands on both collars, like an angry mother. Come on, we're leaving.
I step
Just
back
as you are.
inside the thing. No, I'm not.
We're going.
no,
We're going. We're
I'm
going. We're
not.
going.
Nope.
Nope.
Just as you board the elevator and you notice the doors close, is when you catch the last sight of several of the whites that have been able to crash through their cage and start scaling the
Yeah,
wall
no.
up to your level.
Nope.
Fortunately, of course, you're safely in the elevator and make it back to the top of Razor Cult Shop. Unless there's anything you'd like to do in the occult shop, I'm going to assume you just walk on, and I would like to know what you would all like to do now. Poor Ray. He was 2 days away from retirement, you know.
What do we do? What do we do?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. What the
Yeah,
fuck do we do?
they're
They're
definitely
gonna
gonna
get
climb
out.
up. They're definitely gonna climb up,
Yeah,
dog.
they're
Do we
definitely.
have
You know,
anything
you'd think
that-
if you was keeping that many of them in the basement, you'd have some better luck.
I think,
By the way, the temperature has once more returned to normal as you were ascending in the lift.
I think we need to take this information and go stop the prince.
Well, here's the thing.
And just
Not
leave
taking
all
turns doing
those
what?
whites. Yeah.
Is there
Yeah.
any? Okay, so we come back upstairs. This is like a special shop, right? It's the special shop that like we can. No, it's not that one. This is not the
It's a
same.
shop. Nope, just a shop.
I mean,
Just a shop. Okay. Well, fuck.
It
I was gonna
seems-
say, is there any way for us to get some fucking astrolite right now and just drop it inside that fucking elevator down?
We-
Okay,
Pick
that's
slip
the
up
worst
by his
idea.
ankles, shake him gently.
No, I
He might drop out.
I've got
Oh,
Astrolite on me
oh,
right now.
That's a good point.
Because those motherfuckers will come up.
Yeah.
I have it on me right now.
Right, meow?
But I have right now. But if I drop it right now, the whole city is gonna cat pun be gone. I
Exactly.
could try half. I could try like a quarter dose, but
What do you mean?
if I drop all of the astrolite I have in this one singular vial, the whole city, us included, is gone.
How good are those wards?
We could put it to the test.
You just shove the countertop in front of the door. You know, it's not much, but
We'd be heroes.
You know
So
what?
we can't
Suddenly,
microdose the astrolite explosion.
suddenly I wish the SI would just fucking show up.
I know.
I mean,
Let them deal with it. We go in a fucking closet.
the one thing I can
Probably
think
get
of.
away.
And the one thing I can think of is, so they're gonna have to go through the elevator first. They're gonna climb up. They're gonna have to claw through the bottom of the elevator. I think they've got that. I could try. Okay, here's what I'm.
Could we
offering.
make
I
like
could.
we could
anonymous
just call up
call
the
to
prince and be like,
the
"Hey, yo,
SI?
guess what? Your refrigerator's running."
Hang on. I just want to point out, right? You've had enough time to get to the top of this elevator, walk casually outside the shop, stand there and have this discussion. But you haven't heard the screams of Wight, not once.
Oh no.
There's no evidence whatsoever that they are, in fact, creeping up and screaming and clawing for you. Surely by now they
Because
would have.
why
It's
would
just
they
a
need
simple
to-
metal shaft.
They'd
What
need
do I
somewhere
have
else
to
to take
roll
them
to know
out.
if that was like if we were in some altered plane of reality? Just because it's been so many.
No, but someone with blood sorcery might be able to.
Oh,
I said it already that wasn't real.
oh. I
Okay, so we don't gotta bomb the place.
It
guess I
was
was not
real,
understanding
but
what- like, can they not? Are they not actually? Where
No.
are they?
So,
pocket dimension.
possible, but what you said was sort of purple, whatever, right? They've got to be let out very specifically to get out from underneath.
So
Wherever they're at is keeping them in.
So art. Honestly, it does. It kind of sounds like, "Hey, yo, Prince, your refrigerator's running."
So, there are two other locations, the library being one of them and the crematorium being the other. We can go to the crematorium.
So,
if we so wish.
What
but we might find more of the same.
What I'm hearing is Slip is the custodies of the oubliettes, and the Prince is the custodies
no,
of the refrigerators.
No, the custodies see to the Emperor. I'm not custodies. No. Custodian.
Okay. Slip is the custodian of the oubliettes, which is these pocket dimension tunnels, which don't make any sense, but the thing. And I guess the Prince is the custodian or manager of the refrigerators, which are like pocket dimensions that are cold and big.
So, here's the problem. It seems like all of the Primogen are receiving shipments from the Prince. So, the entire top of the tower is in on this. Locally.
So how many is that? Like 5? 7?
But
8?
I
like those.
I'm assuming fucking 13, you know what I'm saying? But
13's better than thousands. We should try our luck.
I mean,
okay.
You're just talking about
they're
overthrowing the
getting-
Camarilla at that.
They're getting. Okay,
The
so this
thing
is
is that,
just
like,
getting blood.
Who knows how long this has been going for?
For as long as this person's been Prince. They're operating like a circulatory system, except
Yeah,
the people that they...
That makes sense that, like, there would be so many of them, which is insane.
Maybe the circulatory system is
Blood's gotta
behind
come
it.
from somewhere.
Question for the ST. In the way that taint can be visible in the aura when a kindred commits diablerie, is a kind of similar thing happen if you consume a white?
I don't see why you wouldn't get the
Pretty-
But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing is that, like,
Haven't
they're
we
not
done that?
necessarily
I'm pretty sure we ate a
killing
white in the past,
them.
and whoever did that had the diablerie thing.
Yeah,
No
they're
one's-
not necessarily like killing them. They're just draining them
Yeah.
to provide for their needs because
just stuck
they're
in the fridge.
elders and they cannot drink or satiate their hunger with
With Kine. Right.
pine.
Yeah. I mean, blood's gotta come from somewhere. They're just stuck in the fridge. I'd say, if anything, the biggest concern is making sure that, like, the supply don't get tainted then, right? Like,
Yes.
if it's Camarilla
said-
above board.
That said, it is also worth mentioning that the prince does claim to be an elder, did go to the Middle East to join in the Gehenna Wars, but came back. They say.
Right.
I mean, are we the assholes then? We woke up the food.
Why would it have a fucking self-destruct button like that?
No, see, the thing is, we might have woken
It's a
up.
huge
Somebody had
danger
been
for
tampering with the
Masquerade
system.
violation. If those things come out, the entire city is going to be done for.
Agreed.
Yeah, they're stuck
So
in
what
a
about-
pocket.
That
would it
is
have
a
a spell?
huge breach, and they're doing this under everybody's nose.
Yes, it's awful. So I'm
Wait a
still
minute.
questioning why the fuck the computer just lets everything fucking go.
I will say this. That means Kolal is involved in it. He is a primogen. And his address was there.
I am aware.
Every one of the primogens are involved.
Except Van Buren.
Right.
Because he's not part of the club.
Well, technically,
yeah.
he was in his own pocket dimension at one point as well.
Mention
Mayhaps.
us too many pockets.
I
maybe-
believe that also Tremere, as with blood sorcery, can figure some other things out.
What would happen
Wouldn't
if...
that mean the Banu Hakim should be able to as well?
I mean, again, my
Yeah,
concern
but
right
I
now,
believe that, like, temptation.
if we just
and
wandered into
ease
the
of
prince's
access-
fridge, who else has been wandering into the prince's fridge?
There's probably been many.
What would
Probably.
happen if we took some infected people and started throwing them in the prince's fridges?
That's a lot.
You poison the supply. Truly, it comes down to you end up poisoning their supply.
Yes. Then the whites get the plague, and then the only ones who feed off those whites are the prince and the primogen.
I mean, they're gonna
This
notice.
is crazy.
They're gonna notice if we chuck people down there. And
Sure.
Do they do
I
the
wanted-
the blood extractions themselves, or do they send ghouls?
I mean, there's no way with the blood plague going on, they're not gonna find a couple of crumpled bodies in the corner and be like, "That's about right."
No, but it does bring up the good. Oh, go ahead, Shay.
Roland, do a wits awareness for me, please.
Okay. Sorry. Take me 1 second.
Do whites get the plague? Can whites get the plague? How would you know? Surely they would die before they become fully... Is that a possibility kind of thing? Who knows? But no one's ever heard or seen of a white that's been infected. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
This is the most
Uh,
deplorable thing I think I've ever actually come across.
Yeah, I mean, I'll help you guys with whatever you want to do. Ultimately,
I-
aside
Can I,
from
like, if you're
Aside
thinking out
much.
loud, Roland, if you're thinking out loud like that, I'm gonna put my
Yeah,
brain
I
with
would.
yours.
Mhm.
And give you an extra dice.
Oh, he already did the roll.
Of that.
I already
Just
did the
add
roll,
another
sorry.
one. Just add another one.
Add another dice so we
Can
can get more.
can I roll an
Roll the
extra
dice. Just
D10?
roll the dice. That woman
Okay.
scares me and arouses me, and I never want to displease her.
It was
Here we go,
success.
4.
So all that information I just told you is still true.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
All right.
But
Look,
everything you
one-
said I would voice. Yeah, being like, can whites get the plague?
One way or the other, whether they can or not, right? We are interested in ending the plague. We're not going to poison the prince's fridge because that does not further the goal of ending the plague.
You know what I just realized?
You're right.
Every
Just
single
maybe
individual,
perhaps.
every
No, go
single
ahead.
individual eating out of this fridge has no risk of getting the plague.
As
All
far
of them,
as
I'll state.
as far as no white has ever, that just means they don't answer questions and no one's tested a dead one.
Mm.
We don't know. Holding one in captivity to try to infect it is not a fantastic idea.
Yes, I did it.
One of those labs we found, didn't we find a white?
Yes.
Well, yeah, but we didn't have time to saddle over and draw blood and be like, oh, what is going on here? You know, we were kind of just faking it till we made it.
I'm
That's-
curious on how they're even able to hold down a white to feed from.
Science.
I suppose it all just seems too much and none of it makes sense.
Well,
Is
I
it-
agree. But
I
it's what we're
mean-
dealing with, and we have to decide what we're doing next.
I guess the other question is the whites. In order to get blood from a white, the white has to be consuming something. Could the whites be bloodbound and therefore obedient?
Well, if I remember, the one we saw
Can
at
you-
the kink,
can
the
you-
ones we saw at the kinky clubs were in torpor. You don't need to feed if you're in
Yeah.
prolonged torpor.
And the ones that were down there were also in torpor before they were awakened.
Yeah, but you can't feed off an empty juice box.
Right, but there's tubes. There's tubes down there.
Maybe
Yeah,
they're like,
are they just funneling blood in and then having the sleeping whites
Yes.
convert it to vitae? Like,
Like a
Yes.
hamster water bottle?
yes.
Right, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's the same
probably.
logic.
Yeah.
It's the same
Crazy.
logic of a blood transfusion.
Right, exactly.
They're a filter.
I mean,
Oh, that's a lot of blood.
it's like when you keep a kindred in a cage so that you feed that kindred kind so that you can then feed off of that kindred.
I mean,
They,
it's
I mean,
I can't. What I can't
from
figure
what
out
I
is-
see, it's no different than what you had going on in your garden, Zacharon. It's just on a larger scale.
right.
This seems like such a big scale.
I
yeah,
mean, they
because
could.
they got a whole city to provide for.
I mean, it's also.
Is
I
it a
was
whole
kind of
city, or
wondering
is it
what
like
kind of
13
infrastructure
people?
was in place.
Well,
It's all
here's
the elders and the primogens. That means that, like, possibly even my sire was partaking in this. Even though I don't see him, like, possibly doing that. But at this point, anything is possible.
I mean, that said, you know, y'all go to Elysium and you get the drinks at the counter. Do y'all ever ask where the blood comes from?
I mean,
Correct.
here's what I would do. If I was going to do this, if I was going to get sent a white to use as a food supply, right? Or if I was going to ship them, I would wait until they were so hungry. I would deprive them, starve them, wait for them to go into torpor, dock the arms and legs, send the body pillow. Then what's the white going to do? Fucking nothing.
Scream.
As far
Yeah.
as
Those ones
the,
woke up because somebody tampered with the system.
Make
Also,
noise. Right,
as-
but if they're empty, they cannot wake up. These ones might not be ready for shipment because they have
Yeah.
blood in them.
well, also just as an aside here, you could just be feeding the whites to the whites. They get the blood they fucking need. Either way,
They
You
do
put a
have
white in-
thousands of them.
put a few whites in a fucking blender and send it through the fucking tubes. It's a fucking IV bag.
Sounds like a horrifying blender.
I mean, every night, assume they're burning blood, though. You'd get diminishing returns.
That's why there's so many.
But
Or
near
the
long-term storage,
ones,
yeah.
yeah, or the ones that are, escaping for any reason or get out of torpor, end
I
up
mean,
fighting another one and feeding on them until they're back to where they were before.
I mean, they could be plugging some of the billions of fucking rats into these things.
Yeah, it could be anything. It could be animals. It could be homeless. It could be anything, really.
It'd be worse than that.
Some sort of
Conservatives.
It has occurred to me though that we have now uncovered what we was planning to do the vaccine. Somebody else has all the power to reverse Uno that right back and taint the supply of what our folks have got.
Right, and
That's where my mind goes.
my thing is they haven't. In fact, they've all
Yeah.
chosen to go into hiding. What do they have to worry about? They have an endless supply
No.
of food. They can hide. Why reverse anything?
unless someone
No,
poisons
I
the
mean
well.
the SI could poison the well. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
Like that, the SI could reverse Uno what we was planning to do to them, but do it to us.
Basically, we're up fucking Shit's Creek without a paddle.
Yeah.
I do think that there is a value in thinking about possibly leaving a little hint for the SI to go and check that place out.
Because they probably would just pump the red gas and eradicate everything inside.
If they get out of there.
Again, it's if they get in.
It
If
would
enough
be...
disappear, I feel like more SI is going to show up, and it's just going to become a very bad thing.
All I'm saying is this: is to get into these places, you need to be in the know of how to get in to begin with. You understand?
Just
Like
give a little note,
You know,
it's
it occurs to me, we came in here looking for Van Buren.
Yeah.
I mean, that. Crematorium, right?
Yeah, it's probably.
someone's there.
I mean, at this point, we may as well just go check if it's another fridge, right?
I mean, that's my intention, is to go there and check it out. But
Although
it
this
was
time,
the
if
last place it was delivered to.
If we come out of a door, there, and we even hear that grating, if it's another dark room, we hear that grate, we're leaving. We agreed? We just walk out. If it's a
Agreed.
fridge, we leave.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We're just inspecting to make sure there is a fridge. We don't have to care what's inside just yet.
If it's,
look.
if it's a pocket dimension, and we don't want to poison the well, a pocket dimension shouldn't care if there's a little astrolite in it, right? It's a pocket dimension.
That's a good question.
It's an
Would the
option.
explosion just blow up inside the pocket dimension?
I imagine so, yeah.
Assuming it is a pocket dimension and not just
But again,
a
if
building
if
that
the
whites
are
don't want
just,
to leave.
If the whites are just circulatory system B, do we gotta blow them up?
I guess we'll figure that out when we get there.
Because, this might not be our problem.
Also, just as a side note here, we are operating under the assumption that they are delivering these whites out to places for whatever reason. But no, you know what? I'm just going to go off of that. That's where the whites are going. The most recent delivery was directly to the crematorium. So who's ever in there has recently fed.
I mean, did the paperwork, did it say they were shipping white specifically, or did they just say they were shipping stuff?
In the deeper look that Slip gave, he found out that it was the whites being shipped. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything else
So-
made it seem like it was just, just a drop-off. But
So we
upon
either-
further inspection.
Are going to walk into a very well-fed individual, or a bunch of whites,
Why not both?
or both. Both is good. Awful.
Oh, it's all a
Guy-
possibility.
The guy could have been diabolized by one of the whites, and then some of the other whites could have eaten them, and then all you got to do is face one super white.
So here we
You
are.
know, it's not all bad news.
I mean,
I mean,
White, it's fine.
that's how we got the Harbinger of Skulls.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm sorry, prepubescent, karate-based Terrapins, the sequel, where
Fuck.
Terra
Uh-huh.
Terra has taken the ooze and he turns into a Super Terra right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's a Super White.
It's not great. So, but we're going to find out more information when we get to the place to begin with. So, might as well check it out. If it is a fridge, we fucking leave. And we go to the Needle, finish our business, and we fucking hop off. That's it.
Yeah, sure.
That's the plan. The sea is frankly the only plan we have. Yes, we have to. We told Sabine that we would kill the Tremere Pyramidin, but with the state of how things are, I don't know that it will matter. So, crematorium. If there's a bunch of whites, we fucking leave and go to the Needle. That's it.
Great.
Fuck.
I have but one question.
Mm.
How would you like to get to the crematorium?
We have the address of the crematorium.
Mm-hmm.
Private jet.
So,
Vito.
VTOL.
You're just
VTOL.
fucking crazy.
So, in terms of because I looked at the map of the fucking city, where is the crematorium in Oxford? Where's it at?
Northeast of the city centre.
Okay.
Literally right on the edge of what would be considered the city lines itself.
Okay.
It's still a very well-developed area, though. It's not out in the middle of nowhere. It's loads of houses, very busy main road. Crematorium.
They just dropped off whites in the middle of this busy street. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, well, here we are.
Well, it wouldn't be that hard at a crematorium. You put them in body bags, they're just bodies.
All right, then.
They do look dead.
We could use the oubliette to at least get close.
That's what I was thinking too. It might be
Or
the
we
safest
fucking...
option.
All right. I mean, or we can fucking hijack a taxi and drive there. But I think the oubliette is probably the safer of the lot.
Yeah.
Probably.
We got enough problems. We don't need more.
We don't
I
need
will
any
say that
crimes.
dawn is very swiftly approaching.
Oh, God.
All right.
Man, fuck the sun.
Right. So, do we have a safe place we can go? I mean, we can always go back to... No, actually, it's probably better we don't go there. Is there a better place
What if
for us
we
to
go into the oubliettes, chill out for the day, and then come out of the oubliette at the crematorium?
Is it safe to sleep in the oubliette?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, well, actually, hold on.
Did.
I mean, it
Oh,
can
yeah.
be. Depends on where.
You know, with the power of Kodoi's ship, we can watch each other's backs.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
Coterie ship.
Totally
Right.
shit.
That seems to be our
So-
safest bet, then.
Then
All right.
let's get ourselves inside.
Are you heading down into the oubliette, Slip?
It sounds like the group would like Slip to do custodian things, so yes.
I mean, we gotta sleep somewhere.
Would swearness, please.
I'll reroll 3 of those. It's 4.
That's much better. There you go. Now you're looking like an Adeptus Custodes. You are able to find a sealed away entrance down to the oubliettes. You guide the coterie down the usual stone stairs that are there. But this time, amongst the stone chamber, it isn't the same amount of doors. There is an extra one, made of cast black iron.
Well,
What do you know?
safer.
Do you think?
Even safer.
Do you think now that we've been to the refrigerator, it shows up in the oubliettes?
Huh?
Do not put that thought in
It's
my
not.
mind.
No,
No.
I think this is a different pocket dimension.
That's
Yes.
it's fair, understood. I just don't like that that's now in my mind. I'm gonna have
Rightfully
nightmares.
scared. Yeah. All right. Well,
Crazy.
Which door are you heading through?
Let's just
none. I think.
let's
we're
just
sleeping
nap
in the
here.
hallway.
Are we
Remember?
sleeping in the hallway?
Bastards, ruin my fun.
We can check out that.
Go on, just go through the black. Can't you just peek your head in the black iron door at least? Just like
peek my fucking head in. I'll
Opens
I'll
the door.
open it. I'll open it a slither.
Look,
I'll be right
I
there
look
to
at it
yank
with my
back
with my
Akron if
with my
anything bad
special
happens.
eyes, with my
and you
special
catch
eyeballs.
sight
Special eyes.
of the same room that you were all playing Mario Kart in.
Yeah.
With the shopkeeper in.
I
Okay, so
recognize the
it's
door immediately. Like, why are we
Yeah.
being so?
Bruh.
No, I mean I knew what it was, but homie
Yeah, I
wanted
did
me
too.
to look, so yeah. We'll go in there. It's safe.
I want to say hi to my bro.
Oh, he's not in.
Oh,
It's just the apartment space he kept us in.
You know,
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
able to
it's
head
what we
back straight
needed.
in, and it's exactly as you left it before. Various red emails on the terminal, empty open fridge, every single cabinet empty, open. Medicine cabinet once holding painkillers now empty. Grotty toilet, bathroom sand shower curtain, a single bed exposed mattress. But it's safe.
I am gonna go to the radio and turn on the Deb of Night.
We have something for that, but I didn't make it.
Next,
So I'm going to call it an end here.
next.
Yeah.
We're going to start. Yeah, I'm going to put that in my notes because we do have something very special for that, actually.
Oh, great.
Right. So, with that, we have reached the end of this week's Oxford's Ashes. Thank you all for coming and playing. Thank you all for coming and watching. This week, we will go in order of level of completion of Bloodlines 1, starting with Noscavian. Who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I am Noscavian. I play tabletop RPGs on Table of Horrors. I play Jason on Mondays, and Barry the Butcher on Fridays. I have friends who have written books and published them, such as our very own Daybreakathon, who has written Woodbreaker, and Windswept. Check them out. I have a friend who wrote her first book, Bloodlust, as part of the Bloodlighting series. Check that out. And I have another friend who is starting his sci-fi fantasy epic Obelisk: The Long Dream.
It's a tough choice. Roland, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
You chose correctly. I'm just kidding. Hey, I'm Dead Western. I really don't do much, but I'm here playing Roland on Fridays, and I hang out in the Discord. You can find me there.
Darla, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Hi, I am Phoenicia Starlight here on Twitch and on the internets. I used to do things. I have not done things in a while, but I am hopefully back from my visit to the deepest abyss known to mankind. So yeah, hopefully, I get a little vacation up in where the sun shines now. We'll hope for the best. But yeah, you can check me out, give me a follow. You might see me around. we'll see. We'll see what happens because life is a mess.
And 2024's been shit.
2024, I was like, this is gonna be my year.
Oh, that was your first mistake. Every
I was
year, this is
positive
it.
I was
This is
like,
going to
I'm
be the
gonna
year I
manifest.
die.
I was like, I'm
And I
gonna
don't.
manifest. I'm like, I'm a manifest the good vibes.
It's like
Never again.
you know,
Never again. Never
it's the
again.
same as a day. It's the same as a day. The moment you wake up, you fucked up because you're alive, and you're like, oh God, I did it again.
Jesus
That's a really
Christ.
shit way to start the day because you failed.
I'm going to slap you with the fish.
Acheron, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
You know what? No, I don't do anything anymore. Fuck everyone and everything. I don't do shit. I'm just kidding. Hi guys, I'm here. I do this. I do TTRPGs here on Table of Horrors. On Fridays, I'm Acheron. On Mondays, I am Morningstar. On Thursdays, I am Nexus. There are other things up and coming. Keep an eye out. I'm also a part of Line Up Gaming. You can find all of our stuff on YouTube. Go check it out. It's pretty good shit, if I do say so myself. You can find me all over the internet as the Risa Rave. I do spicy content if you're into that sort of thing. It's in me links. Check it out if you want. And that's it. That's what I do.
Ebony, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Hi. I'm Soft and Omicron. I play Ebony on Friday. My brain's not working. On Mondays, I run the Flood, our Shadowrun 5e game. There are 2 other games that will be returning soon. On Thursdays, which are Return to Silence and Blood Price. Brain's still not working.
Art.
Commissions.
Art. I have my own channel where I do gaming and artwork. I have my commissions open. I'll happily draw you many a monster if you would like. On the note of monsters, I have a Patreon where I'm making a coloring book called The Periodic Table of Monsters, where I make a monster for every single element. Yes, this is going to get really hard when I get to the big ones that are like, 50-something valence electrons. I've been asked this. Yes, it's going to suck, and I'm still going to do it. I'm Shiv's Hedgehog husband, and I'm gonna pass out now.
Hatfield, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Hi, I'm Daybreakathon. I have been known to do things on occasion. Like, for example, those books Nascavian is holding up. I wrote those! I'm dropping things. I worked very hard on them, so I'd be very grateful if you went and checked them out. The 3rd one should be coming out soon as I finish it. The fantasy author. I also do the character art for the characters who have art. My commissions are open if you'd like me to do some art for you as well. And when I'm not doing that or the other thing, I'm here doing this. You can find me the Hatfield, where I just was, who I just was. And on Mondays, I am the increasingly incoherent Mojave in the Shadowrun game, and there may be some other things on the horizon, but I will not yet speak of them because they are forbidden. Happy Ides of March to those who celebrate. I think that's everything, except my dog says hi.
Hi, puppers.
Last but never least, the slipperiest, Nosferatuist, daddiest of them all. Slip, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Oh my god. I'm Slip, and I'm actively combative with Rissa for fun sometimes. I also stream over on my own channel. Not so much this week. A lot of tech problems with Helldivers. That said, I've been playing a lot of Helldivers, so that's going to be a lot of when I come back next week, what's going on. I'm here Monday as Liam, or Anxiety, for Shadowrun. And I'm here as Slip of Clan Rizferatu on Fridays. That's what's up.
Lovely. Check out the links down below. The links in chat. Probably 30 seconds time or ago. I don't know. there are links for shit like YouTube, where you can see all the old episodes live recorded. You can hear all the
All the stuff.
There's stuff there. Click links. It's all right. There's merch stuff there. Someone actually bought something off the merch store. I went to go and find out who it was. It was Noscavian last year. We literally just got the money for it last year.
Oh my.
But that's it. We'll be back next week with another episode of Oxford's Ashes. Coming up. I don't think we've got anything special, but we will be doing a Star Trek game to bridge the gap between VTM Chronicles as we go into the next one when this one ends. Softy and I, we need to get scheduled. We need to look at schedules because there are many a game that we need to do. Yeah,
We'll figure it out. Don't worry. We'll figure out schedules. Everything will be fine.
All I need now is some real internet, like a real boy.
But
What
we
is
rating?
time? Fuck it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just play it frame by frame. I will post each frame via UPS on a thumb drive. I know that would still be faster than my actual fucking internet. We will go raiding on Cosmic Cat Daddy, who is playing the Supermarket Simulator game, which looks very fun. But of course, legally, morally, objectively, we can't leave until Fenice, says the line.
Well, fuck. I'll see you next week.
Yes.